Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Turn my mic down. Test.
That's good.
1, 2. Is that better?
Yep.
Good evening. We are here at North Daviess High School for the 2021 version of the Buggy Bowl. We are about 4 minutes and 30 seconds away from the JV tip. I'm joined tonight, as usual, by Coach Riggins, Coach Joey Riggins, head girls coach here at North Daviess High School. We have a matchup for you tonight between two really solid JV ball clubs, with North Daviess coming in with an 8-0 record on the season, coached by Thomas Nugent, a 2009 grad of North Daviess High School. And then the Barr Reeve JV team comes in with an 8-2 record with losses to Carmel and Evansville Mater Dei. So two quality opponents there. So two really solid ball clubs here. Typically we don't call the JV games. Tonight being the Buggy Bowl, we thought we would give these kids the recognition and the coverage that the varsity has been getting, especially being the rivalry game that we have tonight. Coach, we've already kind of talked about it here, sitting here looking around in the crowd, and obviously that's going to be the main point to discuss when you're watching. Obviously a lot of people are going to be watching from home on our broadcast, hopefully. Unfortunately, really, because they should be here, and most years they would be here, and they'd be here already. We're 3 minutes from tip here for the JV game, and this place would typically be sold out. And you mentioned how it was when you were a player. Just talk on, tell that story that you told me earlier about what the atmosphere would be like when you played.
Yeah, when you usually get here an hour before the game, and the JV team's out shooting around, and then they go in to talk right before their pregame. Varsity comes back out, and there's 40 minutes before the JV game starts. I remember coming out here, and this place is already 3/4 of the way full. People were clapping because it was a pregame shoot around to the JV game, and I know they say doors only open an hour before, but people being here way before that, they may leave their money at the gate and just walk in themselves, and it's just a completely different atmosphere. But I'm glad the kids are able to play, and it should be a lot of fun tonight.
We're going to talk to Coach Dalrymple at halftime of the JV game, get his thoughts going into the varsity contest tonight. Barr Reeve is coming off of a hard-fought victory last night at Barr Reeve against Lagodi, a game in which they led by as many as close to 20, and Lagodi, chipped away slowly but surely and made it a 3-point game. I believe the final was 67-64. Does that sound right, Coach?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it ended up being a one-possession game. So, again, just another, classic battle between those two schools, as we have this three-headed monster of rivalries in this area that we are so lucky to have. And tonight's just another chapter in that book for the history of the Buggy Bowl. Again, North Daviess is going to be shorthanded tonight. We'll talk more about that later as we get closer to the varsity contest. Also the JV team is also shorthanded, as well, as we have two starters and guys that would have 4 quarters of action. The twins, the second set of twins in that sophomore class, Braden and Brendan Stickles, Bones and Sticks as we call them in the program. Coach, talk about what they bring to the table, and how much better they've gotten through this season and the off season, and what kind of games we're missing from those two kids.
Yeah, the first thing I want to say about them is they're really good kids as well. They were out here shooting around before, and I got here a little bit early. I was talking to them. Just great kids all around, and they bring a lot of length. They bring scoring. I mean, I'm not sure how big they are, but one's probably about 6'5", one's probably about 6'3", and they're long and lanky and can shoot the basketball. And they're a couple of the better athletes in our program, and they do a really good job themselves of getting themselves ready. And when it's their time, they're going to be ready to go here. And unfortunately it's not going to be tonight, but I'm sure they're learning and taking it all in.
Yeah, when I first saw those two when they came here for a visit to move to this area, I saw them shooting around in the gym here during one of my passing periods, and I can just be honest with you, they've developed and came so far in a short amount of time. It's really an impressive thing to see, and we're excited to get those two kids back. I know they're itching to get back, and this is going to be a contest tonight that would be a lot different if they were out there, I'm sure, and I'm sure Coach Nugent knows that as well, and I'm sure he'd like a rematch if tonight doesn't go the way he wants, when he's got a full squad to pick from. But we are almost ready for starting lineups here for the JV contest, I want to thank our sponsors. We will have the ABK Flooring pregame show before the varsity game, and then the postgame show will follow that this evening. We'll have the Odin Locker Keys to Victory right before the tip of the varsity game. The scoreboard will be brought to you all night long by JJ's Concrete Scoreboard. And then finally, at the conclusion of both games tonight, we will name a Bobcat of Daviess County Player of the Game. Last evening, we were over in Jasonville, Indiana, and Ike Wolford was our Bobcat of Daviess County Player of the Game with his 22 points and 10 rebounds. We are announcing starters now for the junior varsity contest for Barr Reeve. The first starter, Aaron Wagler for Barr Reeve, number 12. Also number 14, Carson Boyd. Number 32, Reed Thompson, a 6'1 junior. Then we have number 34, Nick Schwarzenschruber, a 6'1 junior as well. And number 50, Christian Smith, a 6'4 junior. So they're going with Wagler, Boyd, Thompson, Schwarzenschruber, and Smith. So a very experienced, very old, much older JV squad for this Barr Reeve junior varsity team. For the Cougars, we have freshman number 20, Travis Raber, starting. Go along with number 30, another freshman, Landon Schwarzenschruber. Number 33, another freshman, Brock Knepp. So 3 freshmen right off the gate, Coach. Obviously going to be a older group in Barr Reeve's case, going up against a much younger team in North Daviess. We'll see what kind of matchups that presents for our kids. But, obviously, the Stickles boys not being out there is really going to affect our size and also our experience. And these kids really need to buckle down and find a way to compete and fight and make this a close contest.
Yeah, just because the Stickles are out, this gives these other freshmen a huge opportunity to learn and, put themselves in situations they haven't necessarily been in. So it's a huge experience for them, huge learning experience for them, and should be good to go here in the JV contest.
And we are underway here from North Daviess High School. Excited to be here. This is the JV version of the Buggy Bowl as Marcus Britton's going to fire a long 3, no good. Rebound goes to Smith of Barr Reeve, and back come the Vikings. North Daviess opens up in the man-to-man defense. It's going to be a drive here by Reed Thompson. Goes up for 2 and scores. Tough shot from Thompson. Gets it to go for a 2-0 lead here early on. 1.5 minutes gone by, Coach. Tough shot from Thompson.
Yeah, that was. And if it shocks anybody, Barr Reeve just run a set to start the game. And you're going to see that. If North Daviess stays in man-to-man, Barr Reeve's going to run all kinds of sets and get you one-on-one in a drive or post situation and try to take advantage of that.
The thing about set plays is you talk about it a lot as a coach or assistant coach, head coach, wherever it may be. And I feel like you're either a guy that really loves sets or a guy that really hates sets. Why do you think that is?
I think it goes back to the type of players you have. And if you're used to players being able to go and make plays, you're probably going away from sets. But, if you got a team that, really, may need to maybe be told where to go, or you can do the flip side of it. You got to have a really smart ball club to run sets. You got to remember all of them.
Sure.
Barr Reeve just ran 2 different sets already to start this game and scored off both of them.
As Nick Schwarzenschruber was the beneficiary of the set play that last possession. 4-0 Barr Reeve as Brock Knepp goes into the lane, goes up for 2, short, no good. He fights for the loose ball, picks up the rebound. It's going to be a steal up top by Thompson. He's going to get almost fouled by Craven. He wanted to foul almost intentionally to prevent the layup. Thompson goes right by him and lays it in for 2, 6-0 Barr Reeve. As we have one of our buddies and friends of the booth up here, he's called some girls' games, Blake Burkhart, doing this game. Coach, Blake, I think, was a little nervous coming into tonight, given the rivalry and what's at stake.
Yeah, he might have said he wasn't, but he was. I like Blake a lot, but when he's got those stripes on, I don't like him there as well.
Well, we're going to have him on Thursday night here at the Cougar Den for our girls team. So hopefully he gives us a few whistles that we'll definitely need, as we're going to get first foul of the game called on Marcus Britton, who was battling inside with the big 6'4 junior Christian Smith. Inbounds play goes to Smith on the seeker cut, they call it. Rebound by Wagler. It's going to get ripped out of there by Jared Craven, and back comes North Daviess. 6-2 here. 4 minutes 4.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter of action. North Daviess trails by 4 with the basketball. Raver up top. Thought about the jump shot. Marcus is going to fire a long 3. Long, no good. Rebound to Smith and the Barr Reeve Vikings. Coach, one side of the gym is the bottom half is starting to kind of fill to an extent. I feel like even though the crowd level is not going to be what we wanted it to be, it's still going to be a good atmosphere tonight, and the tensions are going to be high, and the intensity is going to be high as well.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on the rules, but if it's 2 parents and siblings, I guarantee you those numbers are going to be used tonight. And that's a good thing. The kids deserve to have people here, and make the atmosphere as good as you can.
Landon Schwartzentruber playing the 2-man game with Marcus Britton. Marcus is going to fire another 3, short this time. Rebound by Raber, goes up for 2 and scores. So freshman guard Travis Raber picks up his first 2 points of the game. Who scored the first bucket for North Daviess, Coach?
Marcus did.
Marcus, okay. Marcus had a driving layup. So 8-4 here, Barr Reeve. 3:30 to play on your JJ's Concrete scoreboard. So North Daviess battling Barr Reeve with the size disadvantage and the age disadvantage as well, as Barr Reeve puts out a very experienced, older JV squad. As we're trying to post up Smith, and they do. No help on the backside, and he lays it in for 2. 10-4 here, Barr Reeve. Coach, that's not much you can do about that. Marcus was asking for help. It just wasn't to be found, and the easy bucket for Smith.
Yeah, and Barr Reeve done a good job of.
And there goes Thompson again. He lays it in for 2 more, and you're going to get a timeout called by Coach Nugent. It can happen just like that when you're playing these guys, Coach.
Yeah, and Barr Reeve does a good job on their sets. As Smith made a good post move and stuff, but it was their opposite side screening that took the help away, and they basically set a back screen there on the back side and left no help whatsoever. So that's just a good set by them and a good execution.
Looks like Reed Thompson is a nice player for them, really good athlete. He's already had 2 steals at the top of the key. When you're able to start 4 juniors, all of which that probably would be getting some varsity minutes at other places if they weren't playing for the team they are, that's a compliment to their varsity. You're probably able to do some things at the JV level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not sure how many juniors they have, but it sounded like you rattled off a lot there. And that's just a sign of a good program. I mean, if you got juniors playing JV, they're playing roles that that they're being able to learn different aspects and maybe be the go-to man, where when they move up to varsity next year, they may be able to actually take a step back and really play what their role is, but they have the ability to take the big step forward if they need to.
And it can be hard for juniors to buy into a JV role because they feel like they may be ready for that varsity time. And kudos to these kids that are buying into their junior JV role and coming out here and getting off to a great start here against the Cougars of North Daviess. 12-4, Barr Reeve. 2.5 to go here as Barr Reeve stays in the man-to-man defense, and North Daviess is looking to cut this lead down to 6 or 5 on this possession. As Marcus kicks out to Travis Raber, he'll fire a 3. It's going to be long, no good. Nice rebound from Jared Craven, and he steps on the out-of-bounds line. It's going to go back to Barr Reeve. First substitution for North Daviess, we're going to have number 11, Elijah Schwartzentruber, checking into the game. He's going to give Craven a breather. Again, thank you to our sponsors, ABK Flooring, Odin Locker, JJ's Concrete, and Bobcat of Daviess County. We are happy to be here. It's been a long day for Coach and I, but we are excited to be here to call the action, and hopefully we can see some good basketball played by both teams tonight. As Mr. Blake Burkhart's going to get the whistle called here and foul on, looks like Travis Raber, team's second foul. 2 minutes to go, Barr Reeve basketball out of bounds. Lob play into Smith, catches, puts it up, no good. Rebound to Britton. And back comes North Daviess. Marcus is going to try to go coast to coast on Smith. He goes up for 2, gets fouled. He's going to go to the line, get a couple foul shots for his efforts. Coach, good take from Marcus. He, nobody stepped up to stop him, so he just went ahead and took it to, coast to coast.
Yeah, and he done a good job of drawing the foul and going through contact. He jump stopped, went up strong, where sometimes he may have tried to lay it in, kind of fall out of bounds, and most of the time you probably miss the layup and don't get the foul called. So,
yeah, if you go up strong and try to go through the contact and not fade away from it, a lot of the officials see that and they know that. A lot of these officials play basketball. They know what you're trying to do, and they'll reward you most of the time for your efforts. As Marcus misses the first free throw, still 12-4. He makes the second, 12-5. Barr Reeve leads here. First quarter action, under 2 minutes to play. here at North Daviess High School. We had a substitution for Barr Reeve, a 5'10 sophomore. Rylan Wagler checks into the ball game for the Vikings. He's going to be out there with Thompson and Boyd. We also have number 12, Aaron Wagler, who takes a three. It's going to be short and left, no good. Rebound to Raber. And back comes North Daviess as Marcus gets free underneath the basket and lays it in for two and scores. So Marcus has 5 of the 7 points for North Daviess. So he's in there to do just that, Coach. He's going to get a couple quarters tonight on the JV as Brock Knepp with the big steal top of the key. Goes up, gets fouled as he's going to go up for two and get 2 free throws. A great steal from Brock, Coach, as I was talking about Marcus's role on this JV without the Stickles boys. You know, I'm sure Coach Nugent's telling him and Devin Collins, when you're in, you're trying to be aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely. They're telling him, if you got to look, shoot it. If you see the rim, put it up.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they're doing a good job of it, you know, and I don't think they're, you know, being selfish whatsoever because they're such unselfish ball players anyways that, you know, they're just out there playing the game, and if they do have a look, they're hoping to knock it down.
Brock Knepp misses the first free throw, so again, the free throw line continues to just be, you know, you see it every single game we come out here. It's the free throw line can be your best friend or it can be your worst enemy, and it's just weird how that works sometimes. As he makes the second one, makes it 12-8. So we're hanging right there, Coach, in this first quarter. Very easily could have found a way to be down 10, but we're hanging tough as Reed Thompson connects again. He's probably got 8 first quarter points here for the Vikings, and it's 14-8. Barr Reeve with a minute to play on your JJ's Concrete scoreboard. As Marcus is looking for some space, he's going to go up for two and score. A tough shot from Marcus Britton. And you can clearly tell, Coach, he's got one goal in mind right now, and that's to be super aggressive.
Yeah, and he's doing a really good job of it. He's being under control. I mean, right there, he went up with 2 feet, went up strong, and just rose up and knocked it down.
14-10. Barr Reeve leads. Well played first quarter on both sides. As Wagler controls over to Boyd, now out to Thompson for the Vikings. Down under 30 seconds on your JJ's Concrete scoreboard. Barr Reeve's going to hold for one, and if I'm North Daviess, I'm completely fine with that.
Yep.
Keep it a 4-point game going into the second quarter, and I'm sure Coach Nugent's, thrilled with that.
Yeah, this is a really big stop here for North Daviess. They can get it as Barr Reeve's coming out in the second quarter, so they can stay a 4-point game, or they could get 8 to 10 real quick if they hit a set 3 here. Just got to talk on screens, make sure we know what's going on.
Thompson gets in, kicks out. Loose ball on the floor, picked up by Wagler. He's going to fire a tough 18-footer, no good. So the stop is exactly what we got. So 14-10. Barr Reeve leads going into the second quarter of action. That is your first quarter done. Coach, well played first quarter on both sides. Looked like at one point it could start slip away from North Daviess as Barr Reeve is so capable of, they're such a team of runs.
Mm-hmm.
They can get 10 on you in a matter of a minute's time, and they did that briefly for, right around the halfway point of the first quarter, but credit to North Daviess, they hung in there. Junior guard Marcus Britton, obviously playing against a lot of his classmates on this side with Barr Reeve having a lot of juniors, kept us in the game there, and now we're only down 4 going into the second quarter.
Yeah, this JV game goes just a lot like the varsity game goes. There's going to be, Barr Reeve's going to make the run. You just got to survive that run. You got to chip away back at it. When they run 4 or 5 sets really, really good, they're going to score off of them because they are good sets. And, you can't panic when you get down 10. You just got to chip away and, get it cut to 4 just like we did here and continue your battle. And like we said, this game you never know. It don't matter who steps on the floor. It's going to be 10 guys out there at a time flat getting after it and playing their hearts out.
Yeah, there's a lot of pride on the line tonight as, these schools are only separated by some weird school line in the middle of some map, 8 miles apart. A lot of these kids grew up together, played in the same backyards, and learned the game in the same pickup games and things like that. And that's never going to probably stop as long as these schools continue to be here, for the length of their programs. So, good first quarter. Way to set the tone for these, the evening here at the Buggy Bowl. Back in action here, second quarter, we're going to have for Barr Reeve, it looks like Boyd, Wagler, Thompson. Looks like the starters, Schwartzentruber and Smith, as we're going to go back into Smith. He went up for 2, tried to draw the foul, didn't get the whistle. And North Daviess gets the stop they needed to begin the second quarter. North Daviess is going to start with, looks like Landon Schwartzentruber, Brock Knepp, Jared Craven, Travis Raber, and Elijah Schwartzentruber. So, Coach, no Devin Collins this quarter, no Marcus Britton. Looks like they're trying to save them for the second half. Talk about that strategy as a JV coach.
Yeah, I mean, this might be the biggest quarter for North Daviess. Without either one of them on there, it may be a little tougher to score, but I look for North Daviess to do exactly what they're doing, being very patient and hopefully not turning the ball over.
Right, as Jared Craven up top gets it stripped by Reed Thompson. It's going to be out of bounds, so we get it right back. Elijah Schwartzentruber with the scrappy strip there. It's going to give it back to North Daviess. And like you said, we're going to look to control tempo, try to make this a very low-scoring quarter, and get those two juniors in your lineup to begin the second half. As Raber controls the point, over to Brock Knepp as North Daviess goes against the 1-3-1 trap of Barr Reeve. Craven back to Knepp into the middle of the Schwartzentruber. Is going to get stripped and stolen away as they lob it up to Smith. It's going to go out of bounds over to Coach Mullen's dad on the side there, who tips it back to the official. And, Coach, against this 1-3-1 defense, I'm sure Barr Reeve's coach knows the exact situation North Daviess is in, so they're trying to amp the pressure up and try to get this lead extended. What do we got to do against this 1-3-1 defense to get it to the places we need to?
Yeah, you're exactly right. That was a good call by Coach Yoder right there, as he knows that we're probably going to try to take time off the clock and then go to this 1-3-1. And we've done almost exactly what we need to do, just get in the middle there, but we got to meet the pass too. That turnover goes to whoever threw it, but that's just as much on the catch too. Elisha really needs to step to it and go get it and be strong, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bait you to throw it somewhere so they can go get it. We just got to be strong, get it middle, play behind the zone, and shoot layups right here, hopefully.
Ball back in play. Coach Nugent's going to probably use a timeout here, I would think, to try to save the possession if they continue to put the pressure on and get it in spots where we can't handle it. Out to Craven. Going to dribble over and find Schwartzentruber, trapped in the corner by Boyd and Thompson. Back to Schwartzentruber to Raber. Up top to Craven. He's going to fire a three. No good. Didn't get the roll. Rebound by Raber, though. So nice job by Travis Raber. Going to get it out to Craven again for three. Long, no good. And it's going to go out of bounds and stay with North Daviess. So we are battling, Coach. And had a couple good looks from Jared Craven. So you get one to go down, but we will retain possession as Schwartzentruber and Raber and Brock Knepp battling on the offensive glass, even though they're undersized.
Yeah, the one thing about Travis is he's going to play really, really hard, and I'm not sure how big he is, but he's not that big, and he's in there boarding with everybody.
Credit to these kids in their battling. I mean, Landon and Travis and Elijah were and Brock even for that matter, were key parts of what was the North Daviess C team before Christmas break. Mm-hmm. And now, because of different situations, they're forced into what is probably the best JV team they're going to play all season. And we're hanging right in there down by 4 here midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, and, hats off to them. And, I want to talk about Elisha Schwartzentruber down there on the defensive end. He's flat getting after it. He's caused 2 turnovers down there, just using his body really well and not letting anybody go in there and set on him in the post.
North Daviess basketball. Craven in the corner against this 1-3-1 trap. He's going to get called for steps as he wasn't sure where to go with the basketball there. But we are 4 minutes gone by, Coach, and we've done exactly what we needed to do. 14-10, no points have been scored here in the second quarter thus far, so exactly what North Daviess needed to stay in this game without their 2 juniors out there.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Right there. I'd like to see Travis cut right there in the middle when the ball goes short. When the ball goes short corner, because it's wide open. And when you're in a 1-3-1, you want to get the ball to the corner and then look middle, because that's where it's weak at. You're going to get corner threes, and when the ball gets to the corner, you want to make sure you're going to move it.
Then on that end, Thompson missed a long three, went all but in. It went down and back out, and rebounded well by Elijah Schwartzentruber. And Coach, you're not kidding. He's down there battling his tail off, and that's one thing that he's in there to do is play defense and rebound. And he picked up a big one down there for us. And we know all too well how important getting a rebound is. You got to be able to not only get the stop you need, but that stop finishes with the rebound. And this is so crucial if you can have guys get in there and get boards.
Yeah, it does. You can get a stop, but if you don't get the rebound, then it does you no good.
Yep. As Landon Schwartzentruber is going to fire a three, no good. Rebounded by Aaron Wagler for Barr Reeve, and back comes the Vikings. Lobbed up to Smith in transition. He's going to go up for 2, no good. Rebounded by Thompson, no good. And we got a loose ball picked up by Travis Raber, so the Cougars are battling. No points still scored, so it's been a little bit sloppy, but that's kind of what they needed here in the second quarter. As Craven's going to fire from 15, short, no good. tipped out to Aaron Wagler, his second consecutive defensive board. 3:15 to play at JJ's Concrete scoreboard. 14-10, Barr Reeve leads in this JV contest here at the Buggy Bowl, as fans continue to file in, as much as filing in as they can do, at least here at North Daviess High School. One side of the gym is for most of, both sides or both levels are for fans, and then you got the other side here for the bottom level is just for the teams only, and then the top part is for fans. So definitely weird times here for this version of the Buggy Bowl here in 2021. As we got a loose ball foul, it's going to be called on Travis Raber. Looks like it's going to be his second personal, I believe. Team's third, as we have Bryson Skinner checking into the contest for North Daviess, and also Max Toy checked in a couple possessions ago, so some new faces in. This might have been the exact C-team lineup, Coach, that played right after Christmas break for Coach Wessner. Just a credit to these kids that are battling, and I bet if you ask every one of those kids out there if they would have played big minutes in the Barr Reeve Buggy Bowl JV game, they all probably would have laughed at you and said, no chance, Coach.
Yeah, and I kind of like what Max and Skinner do. And, they both can put it in the basket from deep, and when they go in the zone, I expect them to be in the corners and locked and loaded and ready to shoot it.
Yes, sir. As we are, this is exactly the type of quarter we needed to stay in this ball game. As North Daviess is in the 2-3 zone, we're going to get a timeout called by Coach Yoder and the JV Barr Reeve Vikings. He's going to call a 30-second timeout. So nice job by Coach Nugent getting his guys in and out of the game and playing the matchups and keeping his team in this ball game. 2:10 to play, second quarter. 14-10, Barr Reeve on top here as we are almost to halftime. Again, stay with us at halftime. We are going to have Coach Brent Dalrymple join us to get a pregame for the Varsity Buggy Bowl, so we are looking forward to that. We're going to turn our table around and face our camera and give you guys a insight to what Coach Dalrymple is thinking and feeling, and where he feels like his team is. And Coach, what do you think we'll hear from? What are some words you think Coach Dalrymple will express as we're heading into the varsity game here in about an hour?
He's probably just worried about execution and doing things the right way, and going out here and competing your tail off. And there's no doubt in my mind they will. And he wants these kids to enjoy it and embrace the challenge of what's ahead, because there's no secret. Barr Reeve's a really good ball club, and we're going to have our hands full tonight. But that's a good thing. It's good to be challenged. It's good to continue to get better, because they got stuff we haven't seen all year. They got 3 kids that can flat play, and then they got 2 guys that can probably shoot it from anywhere on the court. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a new challenge for us, and hopefully we look forward to it.
As we're back to action here, got the Vikings controlling the basketball. We're going to get a loose ball foul called, I believe, on Bryson's. Nope, excuse me. It's going to be Max Toy picking up the hold. So it's going to be out of bounds to Barr Reeve, 14-10, 1:52 remaining, second quarter action. Ball triggers in up top to Wagler. Over to Thompson. The Vikings are going with their original 5 starters. So Thompson, Smith, Boyd, Wagler, and I believe the big boy, Thompson. Or maybe, I don't know who I said. I can't remember, Coach. Wagler kicks over to Thompson, who's going to fire a corner 3, long, no good. Rebound picked up by the smallest guy on the floor, Landon Schwartzentruber. We're down to 1:25 to play, second quarter action, as North Daviess looks to trim this lead. There has not been a single point scored thus far in the second quarter, and oddly enough, that might have been just what the doctor ordered for North Daviess.
Yeah, and I want to comment on Travis Raber again, dude. That guy, I'll take him anywhere to battle with me tonight. He's getting in there with everyone and doing a great job.
Brock Knepp gets into the lane, goes up strong off 2 feet and scores. Cuts the lead right in half to 2, 14-12. Barr Reeve on top, and this is shaping up to be quite the second half here. Have to finish these last 50 seconds strong as North Daviess goes to the 2-3 zone or 3-2 zone, kind of a mixture here, as we're down to 40 seconds to play on your JJ's Concrete scoreboard. Wagler works on Knepp, switches off onto Schwartzentruber. It's going to be a steal by Brock Knepp, but it's going to go to North Daviess. So great hustle play from Brock Knepp, the freshman, as right now North Daviess has Looks like you're going to check Jared Craven into the basketball game, so we're going to have Raber, Brock Knepp, Jared Craven, Landon Schwartzentruber, and Bryson Skinner to close the quarter here as we look to tie, possibly take the lead with a 3. And we have Marcus Britton and Devin Collins over there waiting to check into this ball game in the third quarter and fourth quarter. So hopefully this is shaping up to be advantage North Daviess.
Yeah, and we get the ball coming out of the half. So we're kind of in the same situation Barr Reeve was in the first quarter, that we can get a bucket and then get the ball coming out. We can take the lead.
Skinner from 15 feet on the wing, got it. So Bryson Skinner, instant offense for North Daviess. He is in there to do just that, and you mentioned it, Coach. Get it on the side to Skinner and Toy and knock down a shot, and we are tied going into the halftime break. Coach, big-time second quarter from North Daviess.
Yeah, I mean, they had Barr Reeve to 0 in a quarter, and I mean, I don't know. I would like to know the last time a Barr Reeve team was held to 0 in a quarter, because that's big time right there.
We are going to shift our tables around a little bit here as Coach Dalrymple is coming up, and we're going to face our camera to get a little more. Oh, we're going that way. Okay. Get that around the other side. It's all right. I'm trying to do it right. Okay, Coach Dalrymple is here with us now for a pregame interview. Coach, first of all, talk about the shutout that the JV team just put on the second quarter there. Try to stay in this game and got some guys coming in the third and fourth here. Talk about that performance from the JV guys.
Well, Nuge asked me, he said, should I play Devin in the second quarter or Stoll? And I said, Bo, either one, whatever you decide. But we needed to get through that second quarter to get Devin and Marcus back because we're quartering them tonight. So really nice quarter. You can ask for much more right there.
No, that's just how we drew it up. So we'll get to the Buggy Bowl, Coach. But first, I want to just one more time touch base on those that didn't tune in last night to the effort you put down on the Lakers at Shakamak. Short-handed, without the Stickles, without the Wilsons. Went down there and took care of business in both games. Just talk about what took place last night.
Well, it's it's really kind of a feather in our program's cap to go down there, and you mentioned 4 guys that are just absolute mainstays of what we're doing this year, both on the JV and the varsity. And next man up, everybody stepped up and did what they were supposed to do and didn't bat an eye, didn't whine and cry about it, didn't worry about it, and went and played. So, I told the guys this morning in film, congratulations on getting that done last night. That really showed something about you and about our program, and it was a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yeah, it's been really easy to try to reschedule these games or, look at other dates and try to get your guys back. But, forget that. We're going to go play with who we got, and they stepped up to the challenge.
That's exactly right. It was a lot of fun, and proud of those guys, and the experience that they gained last night was invaluable. And,
yes.
I think it's nothing but positive for us.
We'll move on to tonight. Obviously, big game, Buggy Bowl. Much different feel tonight with given everything going on. Typically, this is a lot like Thanksgiving Day football, Christmas Day basketball, Memorial Day baseball. Something everybody in this area looks forward to and kind of pencils in and year out. What are your thoughts coming into tonight? And then just on top of that, talk about the atmosphere that may not be tonight that usually would be.
Yeah, well, we talked about that this morning too, and for our seniors to not be able to experience that one last time, or maybe even for the first time, with all of our seniors, none of them really have, started or played a whole lot of minutes in the Buggy Bowl, so to speak. And so, you feel bad for that occasion, but then you look on the other side and we could be in Illinois and not playing at all. And so we'd much rather have this, and, we've got work cut out for us. I mean, they're the number 1 team in the state, and they deserve to be. I mean, they are the best 1A team that I've seen, and they've got the whole package. They've got size, they've got shooters, they've got a great point guard. They really D you up and get after you, and we've got work cut out for us. But again, I think last night gave us confidence that you put in a game plan, and go out and see what happens. And you still only put 5 guys on the floor, and we're confident with what we're doing.
Barr Reeve had a game last night as well, quite the big game themselves at home against Lagodi. That game was at one point close to 20 points, and then Lagodi kept chipping away and cut it to what ended up being a 3-point loss, I believe. Does that type of score give you any types of feelings without giving too much away for March and what that could do for your team?
Well, I think when I got on the bus at Shakamak, I hadn't heard the score yet. I heard Lagodi was within 5 or within 3, and I just thought to myself, okay, there's some chances here. Sure. If Lagodi can keep it close and have a chance, then we feel like we can too. I don't know that we can get to 68 points though. We may have to do it a little different way. Lagodi evidently scores a whole bunch of points, and we can't get to 68. I mean, we try, I guess, but I think they'd get to 108. Right. So, it'd be just one of those things. But I think it gives you confidence in the fact that they're human, and they're not untouchable. While they're really, really good, we feel like we belong, and we'll get to see whether that's indeed true or not tonight. We want to compete. Yes, we want to win. But we're here to learn and kind of see right where we're at and what we need to change or add or subtract here in the next 6 weeks.
Going off of those comments there, you talked about on the coaches show, this is the time of year where you kind of finalize your first half of the season. Then you go on and you figure out, okay, let's tweak this, change this, throw this out, keep this. Can you elaborate on what those things might be, just for our viewers to kind of get a better view of that?
Well, defensively, we have 6 or 7 different defenses that we can play. So we'll play 2 or 3 of those tonight. So we'll be able to take a look, and even with or without the Wilsons on the floor, we'll still be able to take a look at how effective some of that is. How much can you play man-to-man? How much can you play zone? How much can you play your zone traps? Those types of things. What types of zone traps do you need to play? Where do they put their personnel? So, we look at a lot of those things, and then again adjust. In the past during the regular season, there's been some fringe guys that are JV or not getting as much playing time. We're pretty set, we think, with our players. I mean, there's still some guys. Marcus Britton proved last night that he can get a look. Devin proved he can get a look. Steffi and Collins proved that they can get more minutes. So, and then we're still waiting, on the 6'6" guy that we haven't seen in 14 days, Brendan Stickles, that could get some looks too. So personnel changes, minutes. What else can you do with the personnel that's in the game? And offensively, we feel good about what we're doing. There's 3 or 4 things there, but we'll keep adding things and adjusting our sets and putting people different spots. Last night we experimented with 2 or 3 guys in the middle of that zone, and we found some things we liked. So you just take all that stuff and you keep moving forward with it and getting better with it.
Yeah, and you mentioned Coach Mokers last night told your guys, it's a statement of where you guys are now. You're back to where, seniors to freshmen. Obviously, what these 3 or 4, that was the C team out there.
Yes, it was.
Finishing that second quarter.
Yes, it was.
So kudos to what you're doing top to bottom, and everybody steps in, knows the expectations, and knows the game plan and gets it done. And one time, all it takes is one night, one time, make or miss world, right? And anything can happen, and I know you guys will have them ready. So any thoughts going in? Any final thoughts before the game?
Well, we're glad to be here and appreciate you guys being here. And, it's not again, we've said this a couple times. I don't hate repeating myself, but it's not the end-all, be-all. We want to win. We want to win, and we're going to try to win. But no matter what happens, we're going to learn, and we're going to be better for it as we go on down the road.
Okay, Coach, good luck to you tonight. Have a lot of fun. I know it's make the best of a bad situation, I guess, as far as the atmosphere, but I'm sure it's still going to be very intense and very emotional, and you're going to get after it, I'm sure. So good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yep, have fun.
Thanks.
As head coach Brent Dalrymple is going to go down and get his team ready to play in the Buggy Bowl. We will get to second half action here. I'm going to take a quick break to get our table situation back where it was. Third quarter action starts with North Daviess with the basketball, 14-14. These JV contests are 7-minute quarters, so we are 6:45 to play here in the third quarter as a quick steal and timeout called by Barr Reeve to keep the possession. I'm sure Coach Yoder and the Barr Reeve coaching staff were sure to try to motivate their young men. Probably weren't satisfied with getting shut out in the second quarter, as North Daviess did a fantastic job keeping the game right where they needed it to be to have a chance here in this second half. 14-14, 6:45 to play, third quarter. Looked like Barr Reeve went back with their original starters, which would have been Aaron Wagler, Carson Boyd, Reed Thompson, Nick Schwartzentruber, and Christian Smith, 4 juniors and 1 sophomore for Barr Reeve. And then North Daviess is going to start with freshman Brock Knepp, Landon Schwartzentruber, and Travis Raber. And then we have sophomore Jared Craven. And then one of those juniors we talked about before halftime, Devin Collins, who stepped in last night, did a fantastic job down at Shakamak and in a reserve role for the varsity. Came in and had a bucket and a couple steals and played some good defense on Shakamak's best player, Coy Gilbert. So kudos to Devin from last night's performance, and he's going to get a chance here today to find a way to give his JV team a chance to win this game. Rebound fought for by Devin, blocked out Christian Smith extremely well. He's going to get Smith called for the loose ball foul as Coach Riggins comes back into the broadcast booth here. It's going to be North Daviess basketball underneath, heading the other way. Still no points scored for Barr Reeve in the last roughly 10 minutes of gameplay, as North Daviess continues to do a fantastic job controlling tempo, rebounding the basketball, and playing fundamentally sound defense. And we are trying to take our first lead of the game here on this possession as Devin Collins drives in, dishes it off to Craven. It's going to get tipped around and picked up by Thompson, and back comes Barr Reeve. Wagler, top of the key, between the legs dribble, over to Boyd, back to Wagler, as North Daviess opens up the third quarter in the man-to-man defense. Posting up Smith down low, Devin battling, picks up the steal, behind the back dribble, goes coast to coast, dishes it off to Craven, back to Collins, kicks out to Schwartzentruber for 3, ring it up. So North Daviess takes their first lead of the game on the 3 ball from freshman Landon Schwartzentruber, who was running the point for the C team just 2 weeks ago, Coach. Now he's out there, hit a big 3 last night at Shakamak. And again, tonight just gets the scoring started in the third quarter for North Daviess, 17-14. Coach Landon Schwartzentruber, if you had to, wonder about where he was in this program, kid's stepping up big time.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. The past 2 nights he's obviously played extended minutes from what he has in the past, and he steps in there with confidence. And when you got confidence, you can do anything that you want to because you believe in yourself.
Yeah, I've heard that speech before, and as Aaron Wagler is going to answer with the 3 from the corner, 17-17. JJ's Concrete scoreboard. 2 minutes gone by here in the third quarter action as Collins throws it over to Raber. Barr Reeve in the man-to-man defense as well. We have Schwartzentruber, Raber, Craven, Brock Knepp, and Devin Collins. Knepp over to Craven. Again, North Daviess being very patient, looking for a good shot as Collins is going to fire a 3, ring it up. Stepped into that one nicely, Coach, knocked it down with confidence. 20-17, North Daviess.
Yeah, that was a great shot there by Collins, and right here we really got to get a stop defensively. It'd be huge to get a stop right here.
20-17, 4:15 to play, third quarter. So back-to-back 3 balls for North Daviess from Schwartzentruber and Collins. Gives them a 3-point advantage here early in the third quarter as Thompson's going to drive to his right, stop and pop from 10 feet and got it. So Reed Thompson continues to get his scoring. So we're at his 10th point of the game, I believe.
Yep.
So gets the double figures. 20-19, North Daviess. 3:45 to play, third quarter. As it was nice to hear from Coach Dalrymple, and you can kind of tell by the words he gave us that he's optimistic about his team tonight. He knows there's a plan, and those kids are going to go execute that game plan and kind of see where the chips fall. And like we've talked about many times, without repeating ourselves too much, like he said, this is just the first trial run. We know we're going to see him again in March if we want to have a chance to win the sectional. So we're going to see what works, maybe more importantly, what doesn't work, and kind of move on from that and learn.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a huge learning game. Like I said before, you got to learn from every moment you take in because you're not preparing to win in January. You're preparing to win in March.
Yes, sir. And he's in a really good place with the kids in his program. Like I told them there at the end of that second quarter, that was literally the C team that finished that second quarter. And, seniors all the way down to freshmen stepping into roles that maybe they haven't been in yet this year or in the past. And they're all thriving and kind of feeding off of each other and playing with great team chemistry. Barr Reeve basketball, 3:13 to play, third quarter, 20-19, North Daviess. So if you were wondering if the JV games in these Buggy Bowl matchups were anything like the varsity games in the past, the answer is yes. Very low scoring at times, very, very close ball games. And that's exactly what we have here tonight as Collins is going to fire another three, ring it up. So a nice drive and kick from Travis Raber out to Devin Collins. And North Daviess playing with a lot of confidence right now, 23-19. As every time the ball goes through the net and something good happens for a teammate, everybody else is up and cheering, and that's when you really have things going well.
Yeah, and that says a lot about the North Daviess program as a whole as well. I mean, if you look at the varsity kids behind the bench, they are locked in on this game right now, and a lot of programs you don't see that.
And that's going to be an offensive foul. Brock Knepp goes in and goes up for two, and it's like Reed Thompson is going to Nick Schwartzentruber that time drew the offensive foul, the charge called on Brock Knepp. So turnover, North Daviess. As we're going to get a substitution, looks like Craven coming back into the game for Knepp. Barr Reeve basketball. Coach, that's sometimes there's a fine line between being aggressive and reckless, and that was flirting with it, but I don't mind the move from Brock. He had a nice little angle there, took it strong, and good charge there from Schwartzentruber.
Yeah, that was a good defensive play by Barr Reeve, and if there's ever a time to pick up a foul, it's going up strong, and that's exactly what he did. He went off two, and Barr Reeve did a good job of sliding over and taking the charge.
Yep, that's exactly what you teach on the defensive side and pretty much what you teach on the offensive side. So just good both ways. As Barr Reeve controls the basketball, it's going to get knocked out of Boyd's hands. Now we're going to get a foul called on, looks like Devin Collins.
A little bit of Vince Carter action there.
Yeah, throwing it off the backboard to yourself. I'm not sure he gets up as high as Vinsanity did, but he's going to get rewarded with a foul. And North Daviess is that's going to be the second foul on Devin Collins here just early in this third quarter. As Aaron Wagner is going to fire a three and get blocked by Collins, picked up by Schwartzentruber, right back to Collins, and here comes North Daviess with a chance to extend their lead, which is 4. We're going to get a foul called on Wagler as Collins goes up for 2, so we're going to get a chance to extend this to 5 or 6 right here, Coach. And, if there was a recipe for victory for this game tonight, right now all the ingredients are certainly there for North Daviess.
Yeah, they are, and, hopefully Collins get this too. We get up 6, and if we get a stop, we're going to be really, really patient next time on offense. And, it may be a layups only situation or hold for one, and you can't ask for much more out of the JV kids right now.
Coach Thomas Nugent promised us a visit if things went their way tonight, so hopefully we can get that done. 25-19 as Collins knocks down both. 6-point lead here. North Daviess controlling the last 14 minutes here of this ball game. Inside down to Thompson. Going to get a foul called on, looks like Travis Raber, but make him earn it from the line.
Yep.
Not an and one situation. So, again, good hard foul from Travis Raber. Battling. All these kids are battling. They're all, every position almost, they're undersized. So, kudos to what our kids are doing right now.
Yeah, that was a good, that's a good foul there from Travis. He was beat. He got pinned, and, it was another good set by Barr Reeve, and he realized that, and he said, you know what, I'm not going to give this layup to you. I'm going to make you get to it at the line.
Thompson knocks down the first. Thank you again to our sponsors, Bobcat of Daviess County, JJ's Concrete, and also Odin Locker and ABK Flooring. He's got a loose ball situation here. It's going to be a jump ball between Elijah Schwartzentruber and Rylan Wagler. Possession is going to favor the North Daviess Cougars as Thompson knocked down one of two to cut the deficit to 5. 25-20. And, Coach, that was almost as good as a stop. Now we're going to control the possession here with 1:15 to play in the third. What kind of possession do we want? I know you already talked about it. It looks like we're going to our little dribble handoff offense as Devin goes to the middle of the paint, dishes down to Schwartzentruber, goes up and gets blocked. Don't think that's exactly what we wanted, but Schwartzentruber picks up a foul in the midcourt there. Talk about what maybe Coach Nugent wanted in that time, Coach.
Yeah, if I'm Devin right there, that was a good take. I would just rather see him rise up and shoot that. And, he's the junior out there. Just step up and knock down a shot. And, but, he made a really good pass there, just didn't execute the finish. And now we got to get a stop.
Down under a minute, down to 50 seconds to play, third quarter. Tipped from behind by Collins and stolen away by Craven. So deflection, Collins, steal, Craven. And North Daviess gets lucky there, doesn't get hurt by the missed opportunity on the last possession, and now we're going to get a chance to get the last shot of this of the third quarter here and extend our lead. 25-20. Collins goes in, finds Schwartzentruber, gets blocked again from behind that time by Thompson, and Barr Reeve's going to get the chance to take the last shot potentially. So 2 exact possessions in a row, Coach, and again, I'd like to just see Devin go up strong there and finish off 2 and try to get to the free throw line just as he did the 2 times before that. Down under 10 seconds, Barr Reeve's going to go to work here with Thompson crossing over, gets a ball screen from Schwartzentruber, back to Schwartzentruber. He's going to fire a 3. It's going to get blocked again by Collins. So another really nice defensive performance from North Daviess as they win that quarter by 5. 14-14 at half, now 25-20. So they won that quarter. My math is correct. It'd be 11-6.
Yep.
So a nice quarter from North Daviess as we're going to get the other junior to check into the game now for North Daviess, Marcus Britton. So we'll have 2 juniors out there to close this game out. We're going to put 7 minutes on the clock, and we're going to go again. Last quarter of action, Coach, and I don't know that Coach Nugent can ask for much more from his kids right now and what they're trying and what they're doing especially on the defensive side.
Yeah, they're doing a great job defensively. I mean, they're outsized in about every position like we talked about, and they're doing a good job of battling down low. And I've said it multiple times, but another big stop right here for them because Barr Reeve's drawing up 2 of their better sets, one against the man-to-man, one against the zone, and we played a lot of man that quarter, I believe, and. Maybe if you're Coach Nugent here, you come out in the zone and show them a little bit of something different just to make sure they drew up a zone set because they're drawing up a man set. Maybe come out in the zone and make them do something a little bit different than what they're talking about in this timeout right here.
Yeah, you're right. This is a great time. The chess match continues here as coaches where you want to change your defenses. This is where you always look at me and say, you want to go something different here? You want to try something different right here? Because they're drawing something up for man, and good time to go maybe 1-3-1 or packed in 3-2-3. I mean, you got options and good time to maybe take a look at something like that. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
I want to thank our sponsors, ABK Flooring, Odin Locker, JJ's Concrete, and Bobcat of Daviess County. As Todd Lancaster checks into the building, we have Washington Times here. We have Barr Reeve Media. We've got Jonathan Graber down on the other end, doing all kinds of media here at North Daviess. And for the Buggy Bowl, everybody comes out to cover this game, and it's a big-time matchup, and we're excited to be here with you guys tonight. As Barr Reeve ball here, we talked about it, and North Daviess does start in the man-to-man. We're going to get an isolation for Thompson. He's going to go to his left, kick out to Rylan Wagler, and back up top to Thompson. So we controlled the set, no issues there. Underneath to Schwartzentruber, tipped away. And again, North Daviess doing a fantastic job packing it in, help side defense, contesting shooters.
Yep.
Not that hard of a recipe, Coach. It's really that simple.
Yeah, Jared did a great job right there on, who was that?
What number are we talking about? Number 12?
12, yeah.
Aaron Wagler.
Aaron Wagler, they've went to him quite a few times, and Craven done a really good job defensively there, not getting beat.
Collins is going to fire another three, this time short. Hit it 2 in a row, so maybe I'll give him the third one, but again, a tough shot there off of the dribble. It's going to be picked up by Barr Reeve, and they are in dire need of a bucket right here to try to get this to a one-possession ball game as Boyd handles for the Vikings over to Schwartzentruber. Looks like Wagler's trying to post up Brock Knepp. Loose ball picked up by Boyd out around the timeline. He's going to go one-on-one with Schwartzentruber. Kick out to Wagler. Gets into the paint, stolen away by Brock Knepp. Here comes North Daviess. Collins goes up for 2, gets stripped, no foul called. Britton picks it up. Schwartzentruber can't catch the outlet pass and reaches in and fouls number 14, Carson Boyd. So it's going to be out of bounds. Barr Reeve had an opportunity there, Coach, to extend our lead. Good defense there from Barr Reeve to strip North Daviess as Collins went up for 2 and then just couldn't corral the loose ball there. But smart by Landon to foul in transition.
Yeah, that was a good defensive stop by Barr Reeve, and it was a good foul there by Landon, not giving up a layup, make him earn it here in the half court.
As we go down low to Christian Smith, he's going to turn right on to Marcus Britton there and score. Left shoulder rises up for 2, down to a one-possession game now, 25-22, and what looks to be a fantastic finish here as we're down to 5:20 to play in this fourth quarter. Reminds me a lot of last night, Coach. I came in with about 5 minutes to go in the JV game last night, and this is about the exact situation, a little lower scoring, but nonetheless, tight contest. And here we are again. These kids are only getting better right now as Thompson's going to fire a 3, no good, off to the right, picked up by Travis Raber, and Cougars are going to slow it down a little bit here, try to control this tempo.
Yeah, we need a really good possession, and a really good possession at the end of the bucket, but we need to take some time off the clock. We need to get a really good look and take a great shot, and if it goes in, great. If it doesn't, we just got to make sure we have a good possession here.
Cougars being very deliberate and patient as Marcus Britton controls. Goes to the middle of the floor, out to Collins. Back up top near the circle. Jared Craven over to Britton. High and wide here, spreading them out. 4:25 to play, fourth quarter. Well-played basketball game by North Daviess. We're going to get a foul called on Schwartzentruber as Marcus does have the ball handling and quickness advantage there on Nick Schwartzentruber, and he gets the foul call as he drives to the bucket. It's going to be out of bounds, North Daviess. So we have Britton, Craven, Brock Knepp, Devin Collins, and Travis Raber. A smart play there from Brock. He lets it roll to the backcourt. Really not the smartest play by Marcus there. You got to throw it to lead your guy to the backcourt, right, Coach?
Yeah, you let him get in the backcourt just to make sure there's no over and back call. And
like we got a loose ball. It's going to be a jump ball situation between Jared Craven and looks like Carson Boyd. Possession arrow is going to favor looks like North Daviess. Coach, we've kind of been a little bit helter-skelter here these last few possessions, a little bit quick and maybe a little sloppy. A lot of that's due to the defense from Barr Reeve, but up 3, 4 minutes to play, you're being very selective. Mm-hmm. You're taking layups and kick-out threes or things within the offense. You don't want to do anything that's out of your role.
Yeah, and North Daviess has to know how this game's being officiated, and they're letting them play. So you got to be even more fundamental and more strong with the ball. Everything's got to be a jump stop.
Great take there from Devin Collins. That's exactly what his role is as North Daviess changes the defense here, goes to a 2-3 zone. Good play. Maybe a really nice change here from Coach Nugent, not letting Barr Reeve get comfortable in what is going on out there after that last post touch by Christian Smith. Smith inside goes up for 2, this time strong, no good. Picked up by Collins, and he's going to circle the wagon here and keep the possession for North Daviess. 3:21 to play. 27-22 North Daviess as Collins controls. Ball screen from Craven and back up top to Britton. So nice score on one end, stop on this end. Now we got to get a score right here, and we're probably in business, Coach.
Yeah, a bucket here would go a long ways, but there's a lot of ball game left. 3 minutes, you got a long way to go. Good pass, Travis hit that.
Travis just short-armed it a little bit. I think he rushed it just a touch. Nice pass from Brock Knepp, so freshman to freshman there. These two kids are getting some valuable experience. All these kids that have been in there playing big-time minutes, Landon Schwartzentruber, Elijah Schwartzentruber, Max Toy, Bryson Skinner with the big bucket to close the half out to get the score 14-14. And then now we've got, looks like a bonus situation for the Vikings as That foul on Knepp puts Barr Reeve in the bonus. It's going to be a 1-and-1 for the 6'4" junior Christian Smith. So 27-22. North Daviess is now going to be, can't really afford too many fouls here moving forward. That's going to be free points potentially for Barr Reeve as Smith misses the free throw. Rebound by Collins, and we're walking it up the floor as we should. 2:48 to play, 5-point lead. Get a bucket here, Coach. It makes it a 3-possession game, and all those little things like you talked about, jump stopping, knowing your role, taking great shots, meeting your passes, all those things. That's how you win a ball game.
Yeah, and for these 3 freshmen on the court, they just need to take a deep breath and know where Britton and Collins is at all times. It's Britton and Collins. If that goes in, that'll be huge. Ooh.
Schwarzentrooper took a corner 3. Again, that was a kick-out 3.
Yep.
Not the worst look in the world, but one that if it goes in, you look like a genius, and if you don't, it's a long rebound and maybe coming back the other way with a chance to cut into your lead. I'm sure they're going to tell him about it. They're going to tell him what to do next time. He's a freshman. He's hit a couple big ones these last 2 nights, but I don't hate the confidence though.
No. I mean, I don't mind that shot at all. And as soon as he went over there, you seen Coach Mokris kind of grab him and talk to him about it. And it's a great shot with 5 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good shot with under 3 with the 5-point lead.
Yeah.
And you're really looking for a great shot here. And if you're Coach Nugent and you get a stop here, that Barr Reeve is going that 1-3-1 again. They showed it early, and it was a little bit effective. And Barr Reeve really likes to go to that late. So you might want to be ready to call a timeout if you do see it, or be discussing it in this timeout, because once again, Barr Reeve's probably drawing up a set right here to get a bucket down low, and then as soon as they do that, probably getting in the 1-3-1 half-court trap.
2:18 to play. That trap definitely is coming. They have fouls to give. They have 14 fouls, so they can afford to be aggressive and force the Cougars into situations they may be uncomfortable in, and try to get some turnovers. As we have 17 fouls, so any foul we commit moving forward will be free throws for Barr Reeve. So we have to play fundamentally sound. Definitely don't give up any layups. Make them earn it from the free throw line. 2:18 to play here in this JV Buggy Bowl contest, as we have to find a way right here. That's the message. If we're in the huddle, it's find a way. It's battle, and we can't see if we find a way to win this game. As Boyd fires a 3, strong. Rebound by Collins. He's going to go coast to coast. Stop. Go up for 2. Going to get waved off. It's going to be a foul on the floor. Only the 15th foul for Barr Reeve, so it's going to be out of bounds to North Daviess. Had Devin not lost control just for a split second there at midcourt, that probably would have been an and 1.
Yeah, and that was a good job by Devin of going and getting that and realizing he has a layup. And go ahead and take that, but people don't realize how lucky we are to have such good basketball players, varsity through JV, because once again, that was a really, really smart foul by Barr Reeve, because it makes us take it out. I mean, he knew we weren't in the bonus, and he wasn't going to give us two free points on the layup.
North Daviess basketball. Brock Knepp, Jared Craven, Travis Raber, and then the 2 juniors out there, Marcus Britton and Devin Collins, are going to try to close this game out for North Daviess. Got 4 guys on one side of the court, need to space the floor. Make them come get you. They have fouls to give. They're going to reach in. They're going to try to foul.
And the possession arrows to Barr Reeve as well.
Yes, they're going to try to reach in, maybe get a jump ball. Down to 1:30 to play here, 4th quarter. Barr Reeve's got to decide what they want to do. Britton going to get fouled, maybe. Thought they were going to call it. Over to Raber. He's going to drive in, go up for 2. Long, no good. Picked up by Knepp, and back out to Collins. So, again, maybe an ill-advised shot from Raber, but lucky enough for us, we picked up the rebound, and we're going to get a foul called up top. It's just going to be the 6th foul on Barr Reeve. So we got to take it out of bounds again as Landon Schwarzentroober checks into the ball game. Looks like he's going to get Jared Craven. It's going to be out of bounds. North Daviess.
And you see Barr Reeve, they're randomly sending 2 people. We need to make sure that we're cutting middle and we're available once we make that pass. Got to have our head on a swivel. We can't just pass it and run away from it. We got to go help that double team. And here's the 1-3-1.
Yep, here's the traditional, famous 1-3-1 from Barr Reeve. They get it across the timeline. Collins is going to get a reach-in foul called from, it's like number 14, Carson Boyd. So Collins is going to go to the line to be front end of a 1-on-1 here. And these are the exact guys you want. You want your older guys up there at the line knocking these down to finish this game out. Still a lot of time left. A lot of timeouts left for both teams. Barr Reeve has 2, and North Daviess has 4. So those could come into play here these last 60 seconds as Collins eyes the first free throw. Puts it up strong, no good. Rebound by Smith. And back comes Thompson and Barr Reeve.
Got to get to shooters and got to rebound.
North Daviess switches back to the man-to-man. Thompson from 24 feet, no good. Off the head of Marcus Britton and into the hands of Jared Craven. So that's the stop we needed. Now down to 40 seconds. Looks like Marcus is going to get stripped, but picked up by Raber. Over to Craven, who gets fouled. So Jared Craven, the sophomore, will go to the free throw line. So again, the bounces are going North Daviess' way tonight as Marcus got stripped at the top of the key, but it fell right into the hands of Travis Raber. Coach, what did you see on that possession?
Yeah, I mean, once again, Marcus just needs to know that's coming from behind and be fundamental and, don't push the issue at all. He got across half court, jump stop right there and see what happens.
Another missed free throw on the 1-on-1, picked up by Smith, outlet over to Schwarzentroober. We're going to get a timeout, Barr Reeve, and it is the game reset here. 31 seconds, had a chance to kind of ice it from the line, Coach. Missed a couple front ends of 1-on-1s, and again, I'll say it again, free throws win ball games, and hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us, as I'm sure Barr Reeve's drawing up a set here to get probably their best shooter a look from 3 and maybe a slip to the basket for a big man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to know where the Smith kid is and the Thompson kid because, they're really looking for him. Thompson's last 3 was if there's volleyball lines on the court, it was there, and it looked good the whole way. So we got to make sure we know where he's at, and he's a heck of a player and doing a really good job tonight. I think he's got 10 points and, kind of led the way for the Vikings. And, I'm sure Coach Nugent's telling him that right now. And the most important thing is you got to get a rebound because a lot of times you see a 3 and you don't get a rebound, and then you panic and you foul and it's an and 1. And, we can't have that. We got to block out and get a rebound.
Aaron Wagler, the junior, 6'1", junior, I believe he's hit a 3 tonight. If I'm correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's hit a 3. So you got to find Aaron. Aaron Wagler, I saw him hitting several before the game as well, with confidence and consistency. So we got to know where he's at. We'll see what kind of defense North Daviess comes out in. It's going to be taken out on the side. Looks like North Daviess is going to be in a little 1-3-1 themselves here.
Haven't seen this yet.
Change of defense here. First time we've been in the 1-3-1. So, again, the cat and mouse game.
Yep. I
kind of love that, actually. Great. So, makes them think about it and run some clock as Thompson's going to fire another long one. Picked up by Collins, and a foul called on Carson Boyd. So, great call from Coach Nugent and his staff on changing defenses yet again for the 3rd time in this quarter. We talked about it in the 3rd quarter about keeping them off balance, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that was a really great job there by Coach Nugent. And, you knew they drew up a set, and they have to be able to, they had to adjust to that set once they went to a 1-3-1. And they didn't do it, and it made them take another volleyball line 3. And hats off to Coach Nugent on the great coaching call right there.
So it's going to be Devin Collins at the free throw line. Just the 1-on-1 situation still. We're down to 17 seconds to play here on the JJ's Concrete scoreboard. This is going to be what's shaping up to be a really, really nice victory for North Daviess if we can finish these 17 seconds out. Timeout North Daviess. 28-22 as they have held Barr Reeve to, I believe, just 8 points since the first quarter. It was 14-10 after 1.
Yep.
And now it's 28-22 North Daviess. So they just have 8 points from the second quarter start to now. So fantastic defense and fantastic effort from North Daviess as they have really done a nice job and all bought into what they're trying to do on both sides of the court. Really fantastic stuff.
Yeah, and they've done a great job on defense, but they've done an excellent job of finishing the possession and getting a rebound. I don't know the rebounding totals, but to be so outsized, I would say we're winning that battle. And hats off to these kids that are out here. Like you said, we got 3 freshmen on the court getting huge experience, and this may not be not only their last or their first Buggy Bowl as a JV player. They're eventually going to be seniors, and what they're learning in this game is going to help them in the future.
Devin Collins back to the line. Fantastic experience, as you mentioned, Coach. This is just a really, really impressive ball game from North Daviess. It doesn't matter necessarily how pretty or how ugly or how anything it was. It's at the end of the day, it's a matter of what the scoreboard says. As Devin Collins knocks down both free throws, Wagler's going to fire a three off the dribble. No good. Rebound by Raber, who's really done a nice job all night on the boards. And Barr Reeve says, we are done playing, so we're going to take our victory. North Daviess basketball, one of the biggest JV wins maybe in a long, long time here at North Daviess. 29-22 North Daviess victory. So big time start here to the Buggy Bowl for this Cougar basketball program, as hopefully we get Coach Nugent to come up here and talk to us about his team's victory. Coach, you just can't say enough about what just took place these last three quarters. Barr Reeve got off to a pretty hot start. Thompson had 8 points in the first quarter. They got off and running, getting in passing lanes, getting steals, using their big, inside the Smith kid on some high lows. And then from basically the 7-minute mark of the second quarter to the end of that game, we pretty much shut them down, and fantastic job. And offensively, we did just enough. Didn't do everything right, but we did just enough to win the game, and tip my cap to those kids.
Yeah, our defense was unbelievable.
From a lot of different guys and big minutes on the defensive side. Totally a team effort. But the Bobcat of Daviess County player of the game, Coach, I'm going to put you on the spot. I hate to do it, but
no, you're good.
I'm
not going to take the easy way out here, and I'm going to give it to Travis Raber. I got him down for 8 boards, and I don't even know if he's 5'4" or not, going in there and getting after those guys. And he guarded the Barr Reeve's probably best offensive player a lot of the night. And Devin Collins did lead us in scoring. He had 12, I believe. But man, what Travis did on the defensive end, and just his guts and grit. And I said it in the first quarter. I'll take him anywhere with me to battle, and just all that he did. I think he deserves player of the game. And it's not everything you do on the scoreboard. He may not have the best offensive night from a point production, but man, his defense and rebounding was just huge. And you're right. I could have gave it to every kid that got in the game. Skinner came in and stepped up and hit a shot there at the end of the half to tie the game. And it's just great for these kids. Travis literally went 2 weeks ago being a C-team point guard to coming out here and playing one of the biggest JV games that he's probably ever going to play in. Mm-hmm. And he did not back down from anywhere, and just hats off to him. Very well deserved, I believe.
Yes, sir. I agree with you 100%. Travis Raber, our Bobcat of Daviess County player of the game. Coach, to kind of talk more about him, he had to play all 4 quarters. Devin and Marcus played 2. No less important necessarily, but just Travis was out there grinding all 4 quarters, had to handle the ball when those 2 guys weren't in the game. He'd had a couple assists, I know, off the dribble, had a kick out, I believe, to Devin for 3 on the other end. On this end, you can go down the line and name something everyone that got in the game did correctly and helped us win. Elijah Schwartzentruber battling inside. Elijah's not the most offensively, gifted, but he gets in there and fights. He gets in there and grinds. He gets in there and guards, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. You got Landon Schwartzentruber hitting a big 3 again, like he did last night at Shakamak. Then you've got Travis Raber. You've got Brock Knepp. You've got Bryson Skinner. I don't even think Bryson was I don't even know, was he even dressing before at the beginning of the season?
No,
I can't remember, but
I don't remember if he dressed last night or not. But I think he did last night.
Last night he did. I'm saying early on in the season.
No, early on I don't think he was. And Max Toy the same way. And those guys came in that second quarter and held their own and done a great job. I mean, they could have came in as soon as they touched it, traveled, turned it over, whatever it may have been, but they didn't, and they knew what their role was. I mean, Max and Skinner was in there to knock down an open shot and not turn it over, and that's exactly what they did. And that may not always be the funnest role or the role you want to be told, but every team has that's successful.
Yep. And
that was really good by them, and everybody was bought in. In that fourth quarter, I said we need to make sure we're getting it to our three juniors out there with Craven and Marcus and Devin. And those freshmen looked for them, and rightfully so. And them three done a good job of coming to the ball and handling it. And hats off to Coach Nugent. This is his first Buggy Bowl as a JV coach, and not too many people can say they're 1-0 against Barr Reeve in their coaching style.
Yes, sir. So big time effort again, and I'm going to talk about Coach Nugent a little bit. Him, and whether it was his idea or somebody on the staff's idea, he's going to get the credit for it. The changing of defenses in the second half, especially, and the substitution patterns. He took a gamble by saving Devin to the second half and Marcus for the fourth quarter, and it paid off. Those are questions I've talked to you about before with the girls, and we've talked about it and watching as fans for the boys, and those are questions that they're hard to answer sometimes, as far as when to play guys and when to sub guys, and because as soon as you put them in, that's the quarter. It doesn't matter if it's a second or 8 minutes or 7 minutes. Yeah. That's what they get. So touch on that.
Yeah, that second quarter was really, really big because I didn't have either one of the juniors in there, Bryce or Devin. And, that can go south really quick at times, especially with the inexperience we had out there without having the sticks and bones. And, it's a call that you make before the game, and it's a call you probably change in the game flow. I mean, if we're down 15 at the end of one, I bet we see one of those juniors out there in the second quarter. But we've done a good job of handling our own, and hats off to the coaching staff. Great job there. And, changing defenses, man, that was big time. We went 1-3-1. That was huge because, they had to set Drew up, and as soon as we came out 1-3-1, you seen Coach Yoder trying to corral trying to corral his team and getting them just to adjust that set. But that's hard for high school kids to do.
Yeah, it was 5 extra dribbles, but that's also 12 extra seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And it ended up being a 24-foot three that was missed, and luckily we got the rebound. So hats off to Coach Nugent on a big win. Hopefully he can get up here in a little bit. And if not, I'll go try to find him.
Yeah, you need to do that for me. I'll kill the time here. Go find Coach Nugent for me, and we'll get him up here and talk to Coach. Again, 29-22, North Daviess wins the JV contest. We're gonna ask Coach when the last time was that happened here for the Cougars in the JV Buggy Bowl. So Travis Raber, our Bobcat of Daviess County player of the game. As you look down the box score, however, everybody contributed in what was a total team effort, total coaching effort. Everybody was bought in on behind the bench, the varsity, getting into the game, and really starting the night off well for North Daviess in what is the Buggy Bowl. So again, two parents and siblings here for tonight's matchup. Vouchers were given out to the players, and then the players passed out to those individuals that got a ticket. The crowd size is not what it typically would be for a game like this. This gym can hold roughly 3,000 people, and I would say right now there's probably 200 people here, I would say, give or take. One side of the gym probably has 15 people on it, and the other side probably has 130, so 200 max in what typically is a 3,000 standing room only attendance, and but that's the situation that we are in, unfortunately. But this game is going to move forward. We're going to continue on and bring you this Buggy Bowl contest. Last year the Buggy Bowl was won by Barr Reeve. In fact, the last victory for North Daviess in this Buggy Bowl contest, or in the Barr Reeve North Daviess series at all, was on March 4th of 2011, which would have been Coach Riggins' senior year in the sectional. So Coach Riggins was a player the last time this North Daviess program beat Barr Reeve. So it's been just under a decade since we got that done. So it's been too long. Got to find a way to change that. Hopefully sooner than later. Tonight would be a great time to do it. Tall task, as everybody we've talked to has mentioned. Obviously shorthanded without the Stickles and without the Wilson brothers, but I'm sure this team will come out and give it everything they have and give themselves a chance, hopefully at the end of this game, to find a way to get a victory. I want to thank our sponsors again, the Odin Locker, JJ's Concrete, Bobcat of Daviess County, and also ABK Flooring. This is the ABK Flooring pregame show for the Buggy Bowl, as Coach Nugent is making his way up to the broadcast booth. Looks like he's going to come up and talk to us. I have some questions to ask Coach, and we will get his thoughts on his big-time victory tonight. 29-22 JV Buggy Bowl winners. Travis Raber, our Bobcat of Daviess County player of the game. As Coach makes his way up, varsity guys are warming up. We have 12:38 to go here on the warm-up. I'm going to get Coach the headset here. Coach Nuge, with cameras right here. We're going to kind of stand towards it. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, Coach, first of all, man, congratulations. Big-time win, 29-22. Not pretty in some times, but that's exactly probably how you wanted it.
Yeah.
Definitely in the second quarter, which we'll talk about here shortly. Just give us your initial thoughts.
I'm almost speechless, honestly.
Yeah.
We were so pumped in the locker room. JV had not won against Barr Reeve since 2011.
That was one of my questions I was going to ask you.
That's Mo can enlighten us on that. We played exactly like our game plan we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we spread them out, slowed it down. We knew if we came out and shot a lot of shots that, you know, they'd probably get long rebounds and go down the floor,
Sure.
get some easy baskets, and they didn't shoot as well as normal. I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, it's a make or miss world sometimes.
I don't know what their 3-point percentage was, but it had to be below average.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
we got kind of lucky there, but we really rebounded it.
Yes, you did.
They did not get very many offensive rebounds, so I couldn't be prouder of my guys, man.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about all those things you just mentioned. First of all, the second quarter, you took a gamble. Obviously, with the two juniors, Marcus and Devin, you waited till the second half to play both of them together. We knew that the second quarter you wanted to kind of slow it down, slop it up a little bit, keep it close, and then have a chance in the second half.
Yep.
And not only did you do that, you held them scoreless, but basically your C team out
Yes.
there. So talk about the effort of all your guys, not just the guys that are maybe getting the most points or whatever.
The freshman guys, you know, they haven't played a ton this year, but they really stepped up, man.
Yeah.
We knew that Barr Reeve had an inside presence, and without Brendan here, you know, he's our big man, and we knew it would be tough without him, but they stepped up, rebounded, we fronted the post, we worked on it in practice, and they did great. Yeah, like you said, outscored them 4-0 in the second quarter, and they really executed.
Yeah,
you know.
14-10 after one.
Yeah.
And they finished with 22. They got 8 points the last three quarters, and that's a team with 4 juniors starting and a sophomore. Guys that will probably be playing varsity in a lot of teams in this area.
Right.
I mean, you just can't say enough about the defensive effort. The Travis Raber played all 4 quarters, had 9 or 10 boards against guys that are a foot taller than him, and everybody was doing that.
Right.
And just can't say enough, man. It's just unbelievable effort.
And I kind of contemplated on how to play the two juniors that are quartered now.
Yeah,
you
talk
know?
about that, yeah.
And we did the same plan as we did last night and played Marcus the first and the fourth and Devin in the third and the fourth, just so, you know, he didn't play and then have to sit out a quarter and get warmed up again. So I really think that worked well. And, you know,
you survived the second, right?
And we wanted those guys in down the stretch because they're more experienced at shooting free throws and, you know, handling the ball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we decided to let the C team basically play the second quarter and do what they can. And, I mean, they gave up 0 points. So
it's unbelievable, really.
That was just excellent effort.
Well, you've played in these games before, the Buggy Bowl, and you've coached in them as well. I'm going to ask you, just does this rank pretty high up there as far as the best memory for you? I mean, coaching is a different angle, a different aspect of it, but sometimes you're more proud and you're almost more passionate about what these kids are accomplishing and enjoying. So what's your best memory maybe, other than tonight when you were a player?
Probably Buggy Bowl. You
Yeah.
know, that was always this place.
Which Buggy Bowl particularly?
Probably my senior year.
Okay.
Because even though we were a good team, we were still the underdog that year.
Yeah.
You know, the year before we were a really good team, and we were actually favored to beat Barr Reeve, which we did. But the next year they were favored to beat us, and we came in here and beat them by 5 or 6. And that was just a great experience. And I feel bad for the guys that they're not able to experience the crowd here like normal. But you know, it is what it is, and that's what we're dealt with. And at least we're getting to show up and play.
Yeah, exactly. I have a feeling your guys would have got a standing ovation running off of the court.
Yes.
You know, tonight.
This place would have been absolutely packed by the end of our game.
Oh, we were talking about shoot around would have been you know 3/4 full. You know, and guys waiting outside to get in, and your guys deserve all the credit in the world. One more thing I want to ask you. You guys changed defenses 3 or 4 times in the fourth quarter to keep them off balance, and because you knew they were over here drawing up a set for man. Talk about what went into that decision.
Yeah, our man-to-man, we went what we call aqua, which is switch everything, because you know all of our guys are basically the same player physically, so there's no advantage of not switching. So we just switched everything, and then at the end, after we'd done that so many times, we figured that you know maybe they're drawing up some screen
to get set for man.
For man.
Yeah.
So we decided to go red. They hadn't played the entire game, and red's actually probably our best pressure defense for this team, especially when Sticklers are playing. But we decided to go with it one time. I was a little bit leery about it because I didn't want to give up a wide open 3, but we told them just pack it in and play the 3 ball, and they did it great. They did get a 3 ball, but it was 3 or 4 feet behind the line.
It was deep, and it took them, and it forced them to take 5 or 6 dribbles.
Yeah, they took a lot of time
which
off the
relates
clock.
into about 12 or 13 seconds, you know, and it definitely confused them. So tip of the cap to you for changing defenses, and I'm sure your staff was in your ear the whole time. And
Moke's been a great help for me this year, and Braden Wessner too.
Oh, good. Well,
they're a lot of help.
You guys are doing a great job. I think you're 9-0 now on the season.
9-0.
Is that right? Yeah, 9-0. So you know, then this was probably one game you look at on the schedule and say that's going to be a tough one to get. Now you look at the rest of the schedule. None of them are easy, certainly.
No.
But you got an opportunity ahead of you to really get something done. And
Linton next Friday will be another big game the rest of the year as far as, you know, conference game. That may determine the SWAC. You never know. But there's several more hard games.
You guys are well on your way to having another fantastic season. We're down to 6 minutes for warm-ups. Coach, I'll let you get back down and get ready for the varsity game.
Okay.
But congratulations.
Thanks.
And enjoy the victory, and let's go get another one.
Yeah, we need it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. That was Coach Nugent with his remarks. We're going to take actually a quick break. We'll come back on a couple minutes to go before the varsity Buggy Bowl contest. I'm going to get a quick break in here, and we'll be back with the varsity action. Thanks again to Coach Nugent for coming up and talking to us. Big-time JV victory, 29-22 North Daviess, and we'll be back shortly with the varsity action. Welcome back to North Daviess High School. Welcome back to North Daviess High School as we are here for the 2021 version of the Buggy Bowl, right off of the JV victory for North Daviess, 29-22. We are now ready to tip off the varsity contest as they are announcing starting lineups. First for Barr Reeve, team that comes in number 1 ranked in Class 1A, playing a very, very difficult schedule. They're going to go with number 10, Caden Graber, a 6'1 junior. Older brother, number 22 senior, 6'3 point guard, Bryson Graber. Guy that's been here for what feels like every bit of 2 decades. Bryson Graber, a great point guard for Barr Reeve. Number 30, Devin Graber, a 6'1 senior. And then we have number 42, a senior, 6'9 Kurt Hope. And then also the most athletic player probably tonight that we'll see, number 34, a 6'4 junior, Hagen Knepp. So we have the Graber brothers, then we have Devin Graber, Hagen Knepp, and Kurt Hope for Barr Reeve. Looking forward to seeing Kurt Hope play, Coach. Haven't seen him play yet. Heard a lot of great things. That young man is committed to Division I Bellarmine. I know you're excited to see him play as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see him play. You know, I've watched him a couple of times when they were playing against who were they up
Carmel
there? Carmel and Fort Wayne Blackhawk. He can step out and knock down a 3. You know, he's a lot of fun to watch. He's a really good player, but you know, Barry's got 5 really good players out there, so it should be a really fun game, and I'm excited to see what North Daviess brings to the table as well.
For North Daviess, we're going to start the same 5 as we did last night. Seniors, 4 seniors to be exact. Ike Wolford, last night's Bobcat of Daviess County, player of the game. Darren Loniger, Bryce Collins, Alex Steffi, and then sophomore point guard Jalen Mullen round out the starting lineup for North Daviess. Cougars are in the home whites with the black trim and the white lettering, and then the orange numbers, and then you got the Barr Reeve Vikings in the black road uniforms with the white lettering. And we're going to tip things off here for the Buggy Bowl 2021 as Jalen controls the tip, gets ahead of steam and controls it back up top, and North Daviess is going to set the offense. Barr Reeve starts in the man-to-man. They seem to be getting after it pretty good, Coach. I know they were probably disappointed to give up a 20-point lead last night to the Goatee and make that game ended up being super close. 3-point game at the end, and you know, I'm sure there's some motivation here to maybe lock down a little bit more defensively.
Yeah, you know, when I was seeing those scores, part of me was hoping Barr Reeve went ahead and win, because there's one thing worse than a good Barr Reeve team, and that's a Barr Reeve team that's mad about being beat the night before.
Yes, sir. Darren Loniger gets the first bucket of the Buggy Bowl as he faked the handoff and went to the basket and laid it in uncontested. 2-0 here early on, North Daviess, as Hagen Knepp gets ahead of steam, gets to the front of the rim and lays it in. 2-2 on your JJ's Concrete scoreboard. 1 minute gone by here, first quarter action. Barr Reeve picks up the press a little bit here as Ike Wolford on the block kicks out to Bryce Collins, and North Daviess breaks the press as Barr Reeve is in a little 1-2-2 half-court trap here. Alex Steffi kicks out to Wolford. Over to Loniger, goes in hard for 2 and scores. So Darren Loniger quickly goes 2 for 2 to start this ball game. Coach, love to see it from Darren. He's playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, when he gets going to the rim, and you know, he does a really good job of attacking downhill. And you know, if you give him if he gets you on your hip, he's really hard to handle.
So Darren Loniger has all 4 points here early on for North Daviess. 4-2 Cougars. 1.5 gone by here, first quarter, as Knepp throws it down low to Hope. He's going to go up and score. It's going to be a matchup issue all night for North Daviess, as it is 4-4 now on the JJ's Concrete scoreboard. And again, Barr Reeve, little full court pressure here. Mullen over to Collins. Got to get it across the timeline, and they do. Collins is going to break the trap, get it into Wolford. Going to go up and get blocked by Hope. And Hope picks up the defensive rebound, and back comes Bryson Graber. Graber off the dribble, goes up for the runner. Short, no good. Rebound to Graber, goes up and again short. Rebound to Hope, goes up, no good. This time Wolford grabs the defensive board. So 3 or 4 chances there for Barr Reeve. All of them left short, and back comes North Daviess. Coach got lucky there, had 3 or 4 chances from point blank range, and those two guys aren't typically going to miss those shots.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm sure Coach Downhill had on his scouting report is we can't give them any extra opportunities. I mean, they're good enough the way they are. If we give them point blank 2-footers off offensive rebounds, it's going to be even more tough tonight.
Longer goes baseline, help there from Hof, cut by Collins, goes up for 2. It's going to get blocked out of bounds and stay with North Daviess. One thing that we're going to have to do tonight, Coach, if we're going to win this game is definitely knock down a few shots, simply because last night, those shots that we maybe didn't hit last night were offensive rebounds. Tonight, I'm not so sure we get those offensive rebounds with the size of Hof and the experience of Barr Reeve. So we got to make a few shots, run good offense, rebound the ball on that end, and see what happens at the end of the game.
Yeah, exactly right. We got to shoot with confidence, and if we're open, we got to knock it down. And that's the thing. That's the name of the game, putting the ball in the basket, and hopefully we can get that done.
4-4, 3 minutes gone by. Wolford on net is going to stop at 15.
Good
Hit a
cut.
cutting Collins is going to lay it in for 2. So Bryce Collins not standing and watching the basketball, instead cutting right off of Wolford, and Wolford does a nice job of finding him as Hof underneath the basket. Tough move on the opposite side of the goal. Steffi doesn't have many answers for that, as not many will, as he lays it in for 2. So 6-6 here, as it's going to be stolen by Devin Graber. And Darren probably should have just took that one himself, as the lead ahead to Hof. And Al gets up in the air and comes down and fouls Kurt Hof, the 6'9 senior, heading to Bellarmine. No harm there. It was just, a basketball play. Al got up in the air, and Kurt let him come down, and he fouled him, and it's going to be Barr Reeve basketball. First substitution for Barr Reeve, number 24. Looks like senior Jamison Miller steps into the game, replacing Caden Graber. Has a little set play here out of bounds. Looks like a play we run, Coach, on the girls' side.
Yep.
As Bryson Graber down into Hof, gets an easy bucket, lays it in for 2 and scores. Count it, plus the foul. So Kurt Hof announcing his presence here early. He is clearly going to be a lot to handle down there, Coach, and without the Wilsons in there, 6'2", 6'3" length to add to the help side and such, it's going to be a long night if we can't figure something out for him.
Yeah, and what we just did right there, we can't do. We can't give him a ticky-tack foul down low. And I'm not saying go in and hammer him. You just got to make the basketball play and make sure he doesn't get an and one right there.
Yeah, you got to make him earn it from the free throw line. He did knock down the free throw, 9-6. Barr Reeve leads here. 4 minutes gone by, first quarter on your JJ's Concrete scoreboard. Thank you, all you Barr Reeve fans and North Daviess fans, for joining us tonight. Hopefully bringing a little bit of entertainment to your Saturday evening. Steffi down low, goes up for 2, short arms it, no good. Rebound to Hof. And outlets to all-time assist leader, I believe, at Barr Reeve, and maybe top 10, I'd say, in the state, Bryson Graber, as Hof, his patented spin move, reverse layup, good. 11-6 Barr Reeve. As Collins cross-court pass to Wolford, he's going to attack Hof on the dribble. Back to Loniger, and we're going to reset the offense here. Cougars are in big-time need of a bucket right here. Can't let it get too far away from you. Going to get a charging foul called on Darren Loniger, and that was probably the right call, Coach. He got up in the air and wasn't quite sure what to do with it, and Devin Graber did a nice job of taking the charge.
Yeah, he did. And, you may want North Daviess to just take a deep breath right here, and don't let this get away from them. They're just down 5. Hope's playing really well. We just have to control their run just like they had in the JV game.
Bryson Graber off the dribble, no hesitation, goes up. Hope rebounds it. No good this time. Rolls right off the rim. Rebound to Mullen, and back comes North Daviess. Going to stop and pop from 15. No good. Rebound to Loniger, and puts it right in for 2. So Darren Loniger, 6 quick points here for North Daviess, as we get a timeout called by North Daviess, I believe, to settle the troops down here to keep this game right where it is. 11-8 Barr Reeve on the JJ's Concrete scoreboard. I want to thank our sponsors. Once again, we had the ABK Flooring pregame show. We're going to bring you the postgame show as soon as this game concludes. We're going to bring you the Bobcat of Daviess County player of the game at the end of this ball game. A lot of great basketball players out there. We'll see who ends up being our Bobcat of Daviess County player of the game. Coach, we're going to talk about the Odin Locker keys to victory. We're still early enough in this game where you can give me a few things, and then also the JJ's Concrete scoreboard will be on your TV screen throughout the evening. Coach, give us your Odin Locker keys to victory for the North Daviess Cougars.
Yeah, for North Daviess, I think we got to get to shooters. Hope is hope. He's going to go down there. He's going to score. He's going to do really good things. But if we let their shooters hit 4 or 5 threes tonight, it's going to be really tough. And if we can get to those, and if Hope scores 30, he scores 30. But we can't let him score 25 and give him 15 points from behind the three-point line. And, we got to rebound. We talked about that. We got to block out. We got to rebound. Can't give him anything easy. And we got to control the tempo, of course. That's kind of North Daviess MO all the time is control the tempo, try to win this game in the 40s and see what happens.
Hope is going to fire a 3-ball, this time long, no good. Rebound to Nepp. He's going to go up for 2 and score. So, again, the Odin Locker keys to victory. One of them, Coach, is rebounding. And I'd say so far, Barr Reeve has 5 or 6 offensive rebounds and 4 or 6 points to show for it. So we got to control the glass as Wolford's going to fire from 10 feet and got it. Ike shoots it with confidence and knocks it down on the assist from Jalen. And it's 13-10. Barr Reeve leads here. 2:15 to play in the first quarter. Going to ISO Hope on the post. Kick out to Devin Graber. Goes in for 2 and gets the friendly roll. Devin Graber with his first 2 points of the ball game. 15-10 Barr Reeve. You can see the pace that Barr Reeve wants to play, Coach. They obviously want to get this game up into the 60s, maybe even the 70s, depending on what type of shooting night they're having. And that's not the pace that North Daviess really prefers, as we got a double dribble here called on Hagen Nepp. It's going to be out of bounds to North Daviess. Obviously, they're trying to speed us up a little bit, get this game up, 20 points a quarter if they can, and, talk about that style of play and how that may not be in North Daviess' best interest.
Yeah, and if I was Barr Reeve, I would too. I mean, they got 3 kids out there that can flat fill it up. They can go get 20 points at any time. And if they get to 60, that's really hard for North Daviess to I'm not sure we have quite that offensive firepower. I think we can get to 50, but the difference between 50 and 60 is a lot. And we just got to continue to work hard on the defensive end, block out, and rebound.
As we got another foul call, it looks like it's going to be on Darren Loniger. It's going to be the 5th team foul already here early for North Daviess. That's going to be Darren's second. I think also Bryce Collins has 2 fouls as well. So a little bit of early foul trouble here for North Daviess as just 2 more fouls, and Barr Reeve is going to be shooting free throws to finish this first half. It's going to be Barr Reeve basketball. North Daviess stays in the man-to-man. Bryson Graber off the ball screen from Hof goes all the way to the bucket and scores. So nice move there from senior point guard Bryson Graber. And, Coach, I don't know if he's committed anywhere at this point in his recruiting process, but he is going to be a steal for someone to run the show for them at the next level.
Yeah, he's just such a smart player. And, when you get to that next level, I'm sure he'll have even better offensive players around him. And he's just going to be able to control the tempo and do what he does best and pass the basketball and find open players.
We had the first foul there on Barr Reeve called on Jamison Miller. So North Daviess takes it out of bounds, and it's going to be Jalen Mullen firing from 17 feet. No good. Picked up by Barr Reeve, and back come the Vikings. Graber, head of steam to the basket, stops with a little Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway, knocks it in for 2, 19-10 Barr Reeve. On your JJ's Concrete scoreboard, 45 seconds to play here. First quarter action from the Cougar Den. Buggy Bowl 2021. Down to 40 seconds. Collins looking for a teammate, finds Wolford. Barr Reeve continuing to pick up the pressure and speeding up North Daviess. Mullen gets it in the middle, kicks out to Collins for 3, ring it up. So big-time 3 there from Bryce Collins to cut the deficit to 6. And we got a steal on the other end by Collins. And back comes Bryce. He's going to go coast to coast, go up for 2, no good. Rebound to Miller, down to 10 seconds to play, and we're going to get 1 shot here for Barr Reeve. So good sequence there for Bryce Collins. 3 on one end, steal on the other end as Nepp goes off the ball screen, down to 1, down to 0. Shots up, no good. Into the first quarter, 19-13. Barr Reeve with a very well-played offensive first quarter. Obviously, you do the math, they're going to be on pace for right at around 80 points. And obviously, and that's going to be a tough pace to keep up. But great first quarter action there from the Vikings, coming off of a nice victory last night against Lagodi. Coach, if you're North Daviess, you're still in this ball game. It's just 6 points, just 2 possessions. Looks like it's going to be North Daviess basketball, I believe. Is that right? It might be
Barr
this way. I
Reeves,
can't tell. I think we got the tip, so it's probably going to be Barr Reeve basketball.
Yeah, it should be Barr Reeve basketball.
So Barr Reeve ball here. Thoughts on the first quarter, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, Barr Reeve done exactly what they wanted to do. They scored 19 points. They're making North Davis play a lot quicker than what we probably want to. But North Davis done a good job of adjusting. It could have got worse there real quick. Barr Reeve's doing a good job of making us play, and we're doing a good job of looking up the floor and looking and getting good looks. And it's kind of a lost art in basketball a lot of times. When so many kids, when they throw it down low, they stand and look and say, "What kind of move are you gonna make?" But we're doing a really good job of getting it down low or on the elbow, and we're cutting off of that because as soon as you throw that, defense turns their head, and as soon as you cut, you're wide open a lot of times.
Yeah, that's a hard message to deliver to kids. We try to. You tell them it's there, but getting them to believe in their teammate to throw it is easier said than done, and they were able to get that done there in the first quarter. So we start the second quarter, Barr Reeve basketball, as Wolford guards Bryson Graber. Alex Steffi's guarding Kurt Hof, and it looks like Darren Loniger gets the assignment of Hagen Knepp, and he pulls up from 8 feet and connects. So the big three for Barr Reeve is they are announcing their presence here early as Hof, Knepp, and Graber, all three are controlling the scoring column for Barr Reeve. Loniger out to Collins is going to fire a three from the same spot, this time way short. Rebound by Steffi, goes up for two long. And new player in for Barr Reeve, number 40. A substitution for them, looks like Tommy Kidwell, a 6'1 senior, into the ball game. Picks up the defensive board. So we have Graber, Knepp, Hope fires a three, short, no good. Rebound to Steffi.
Good rebound.
And back comes North Davies. Nice board there from Steffi, good block out. And able to secure the defensive rebound. As Mullen catches it top of the key, crossover on Bryson Graber, who's doing a nice job on Jalen. We figured that would be the matchup there on especially Barr Reeve's side. Bryson is a nice defender with a lot of length as he gets a block shot, but they're going to get him for a foul. So it's going to be 2 free throws for Jalen Mullen. And a chance to cut this lead down to 6 points. So, Bryson gives a lot of length there on Jalen. He's probably got 3 inches on him, maybe 4, and also probably a wingspan of an additional foot or more on Jalen. So what are some things Jalen can maybe do to kind of combat that?
I mean, I think Jalen just needs to do it like he did right there. A lot of hesitation dribbles, a lot of change of speeds, and he is long, but Jalen's probably got a little bit quicker first step, not by much, sure, maybe just a little bit, and just continue to change his speeds, be a crafty ball handler like Jay does.
Jalen knocks down 1 of 2 free throws. 21-14, Barr Reeve. 6:30 to go here. Second quarter action as the tempo is slowing down somewhat to North Davies' liking as Miller gets into the lane and travels. He didn't come down on 2. He came down 1-2, and a lot of times the referees will call that a travel because it's not a true jump stop. So turnover, Barr Reeve. Into the game for North Davies are some of the JV heroes from this evening, Devin Collins and Marcus Britton, a couple of juniors. They're going to join Darren Loniger, Ike Wolford, and Jalen Mullen for the Cougars as Barr Reeve is in their patented 1-3-1 defense here, and it's going to be a kick ball. Going to stay with North Davies.
And Marcus and Devin both only played 2 quarters of JV, right? So they are good to go the rest of the night.
Yes, they are good to go. You get 5 quarters a night. If you weren't familiar with that rule, you get 5 a night. So 2 in the first game.
Great pass.
Nice pass blocked by Hagen Knepp. But controlled by North Davies. Over to Ike Wolford. That's a wide open 3. This time long. It's going to be a loose ball foul called on Devin Collins. That's the beauty of this defense, Coach, and it's a risk-reward type of defense. The reward is sometimes a quick shot or a steal and easy buckets. The risk is giving up open looks and layups and open threes, but it's a lot easier when you got 6'4" Hagen Knepp and 6'9" Kurt Hof on the backside of that defense.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But the shot it's given up is a corner 3, and that's probably one of the toughest shots in basketball. It's you don't have much room for error there, and if you're in that 1-3-1 and a team hits 4 or 5 of those, you kind of tip your cap to them and tell them way to shoot it, fellas.
Yeah, but it's one of those things you kind of live and die with it, and sometimes it's just it's their night, and we're going to take our chances. As Bryson Graber controls possession, kick out to his younger brother, over to Devin Graber, inside to Hagen Knepp. Cross court over to Bryson Graber. going to dribble drive on Wolford. They have similar body types, so I can see why Wolford gets the assignment of Bryson Graber, both long and lanky kids. As North Daviess is in a little bit of a zone defense, down inside to Hope, he's going to go up and score. So a lot of all of Hope's buckets thus far, Coach, have come within 2 feet of the basket. All but maybe one have been uncontested, so he's been clearly a big-time problem. As Marcus Britton hits a corner three, ring it up. Big-time shot from Marcus, cuts the lead back down to 6 for Barr Reeve. 4:44 to play, second quarter, 23-17. So, again, the guys coming in off the bench playing their role. Hagen Knepp from 6 feet, good. Talked to Mike DeCourcy on the podcast, Birdies Bourbon and Basketball, about how Hagen Knepp is the best layup maker he's ever seen. And that's a pretty bold statement. But he said anytime he gets it within 4 to 6 feet and in, you can pretty much count it going in, and that's exactly what happened right there.
Yeah, he does a really good job of finishing around the basket, and I won't agree, or I won't disagree with Mike, and I haven't seen him miss very many when he gets around the basket.
Jalen goes in for 2, gets fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line. Might be the second foul here on Bryson Graber, so that could be a factor here as he picks up his second foul, and he's guarding our point guard Jalen Mullins. So look for him to maybe slide off of Jalen, or maybe get a substitution here as Jalen goes to the free throw line. He's going to knock down the first. 25-18, Barr Reeve. Again, thank you for joining us this evening. Saturday, January 16th, Buggy Bowl 2021. A little bit different atmosphere here at the Cougar Den, as there was no fans lining up outside the door before 5 o'clock. There are a few more fans in here than I anticipated, but it is a much different atmosphere as Jalen knocks down the second free throw, 25-19, Barr Reeve. Hagen Knepp going to his strong hand, spins back to the right, going to go up for 2 and get fouled by Devin Collins. Coach, this is probably the toughest matchup, so to speak, for Devin that he's probably ever had to go up against. He probably didn't anticipate just 48 hours ago having to be in this type of situation. What do you think is going through his mind right now?
Devin's the type of kid that, he's going to play hard no matter what. And I'm sure he's ready for this challenge. He's very hard-headed, and, it's a good thing because he flat gets after it. We coached him some in junior high and up at Super Hoops during summer, and, those camps can really get into you mentally, and he was always ready for any challenge you gave to him. So I expect him to step up here and play pretty well tonight.
As Knepp makes both free throws, 27-19 Barr Reeve as Devin is trapped on the sideline. He gets out of it, finds Wolford, who finds Mullen, who gets trapped. Again, a timeout, North Daviess. So the second timeout called here early in this first half by North Daviess. So that's going to leave them with 3 timeouts. We have 3:31 to play. First half action, 27-19, Barr Reeve leads. Again, thank you to our 4 sponsors, Bobcat of Daviess County, Odin Locker, JJ's Concrete, and ABK Flooring. This was a full timeout called by Coach Dalrymple. This is a big possession for North Daviess. Got to keep it right here under 10. Got to find a way to go into the half under 10. Feel like you have a chance coming out to the in the third and fourth quarter. Anytime you're in single digits, I feel like, and chip away. The message isn't to get it all back this possession. It's to keep chipping away, getting stops, and finding a way to get back in this ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. There is no 8-point shot. There is no 10-point shot. There's only 1s, 2s, and 3s. So you just got to chip away. You got to get stops. You got to get, easy buckets. You got to try to get to the free throw line. You just got to continue to do things the right way and be fundamental. And don't let this 8-point lead turn into 16 before the half. You need to make this 8-point lead either stay at 8, get to 4. 4 to 8 would be a good spot going into halftime.
We come out of the timeout. We've got Loniger, Mullen, Steffi, Wolford, and Marcus Britton for the Cougars. And it looks like Barr Reeve is going to be in a little 1-2-2 trap half-court defense here with Hagen Knepp at the point of it. His long, lanky 6'3", 6'4" frame gets middle to Jalen, who kicks out to Marcus for 3. Ring it up. Big-time 3 for Marcus Britton, 27-22. So role players doing exactly what they're being asked to do, as Marcus Britton 2 for 2 here early on here in the Buggy Bowl. 6 points for Marcus as Bryson Graber goes in for 2 and scores. 29-22, Barr Reeve. So quick answer from the senior point guard, but kudos down here on this side. Marcus Britton, coach, knocking in another corner 3, a role that you're pretty familiar with yourself.
Yeah, and like I talked about, it's a tough shot, and it's confidence from him and going and knocking him down, and he's practiced these a lot, and he deserves this opportunity, and he's going to thrive in it.
Barr Reeve stays in the 1-2-2, defense similar to what we try to sprinkle this in a little on the girls' side. The Linton girls do this defense very, very well with their athletes, and you figure Barr Reeve can run this very well with what they got on the court as well. As Darren Liner goes up for 2, scores, count it, and 1. So North Daviess handling this trap very well. I feel like with the ball handlers and the smartness that is out there for North Daviess, Coach Thompson probably just needs to go to the man-to-man, honestly, and just rely on his talent to overcome, because if they continue to give these gaps and openings to North Daviess, they are going to find them.
Yeah, North Daviess is doing a really good job here, because I'm guessing Coach Thompson's mind frame is, let's try to speed North Daviess up, because if we go man, they're going to go to that dribble weave, they're going to go to the spread and take a lot of time off the clock. So I get what Coach Thompson's doing, and they are speeding North Daviess up, but North Daviess is doing a good job of finding open areas and executing their zone offenses.
As Bryson Graber gets into the paint, finds, looks like number 44 checking into the ball game. Looks like Tyson Neppa, 6'2 senior. Bryson Graber into the paint, goes up for 2 and scores. So count the basket. There's going to be a blocking foul called on Alex Steffi. So 1 free throw coming up for Bryson Graber. Seems like anytime we do something on this end, Coach, they come down and, as good teams do, find a way to answer. Senior laden, a lot of experience out there. Got to find a way to get some stops if we want to really get this lead down to where we need it to be.
Yeah, and we talked about Barr Reeve's big 3, and I got them down for counting all of their points but 2 right now. So they're doing, their big 3 is doing a great job of knowing when Barr Reeve needs a basket and going and getting it.
Down to 1:35 to play, second quarter. North Daviess basketball down 7, and a chance to cut it as Jalen gets inside, blocked by Nepp, I believe. Tyson Nepp with the block. Kick out 3 here. Passed up by Graber inside to Hof. The extra pass gets stolen away by Wolford. Hof was 2 feet under the basket and decided to pass it up. So,
and you see Coach Thompson right there. You are 2 feet away.
Yeah.
He wants Hof to go up with that, and rightfully so.
Can't get any closer than 2 feet, as we say. And as Darren drives on Kurt Hof, stops. 6 feet, leans in, takes the shot, knocks it down. 26 points for North Daviess, cuts the lead to 5, 31-26. Down to 50 seconds to play here from Odin, Indiana, Elnora, Indiana, North Daviess High School, as we have a kick out 3 here. Kurt Hof, no good. Rebounded by Hagen Nepp. Goes up, nope, stops, kicks out, back out to Bryson Graber. Down to 35 seconds to play. And North Daviess doing a heck of a job here battling, keeping this game within striking distance, as we're down to 24 on the scoreboard till halftime. Bryson Graber holds. Barr Reeve's going to take the last shot here with a chance to go in up 7, maybe 8 to the halftime break. Graber takes the screen from Hof. He's going to stop, turn, shoot it, long, no good. Rebound by Britton, kick out to Loninger, puts it up from half court. No good, long off the top of the backboard, but really nice first half for North Daviess as we go into the break. 31-26. Barr Reeve with a advantage on the JJ's Concrete scoreboard. But if you're Coach Dalrymple and staff who are about to meet and talk about what took place and what to do next, you have to be pretty happy, Coach, with what's happened here early. Shorthanded North Daviess Cougars taking on the full-strength Barr Reeve Vikings, down by 5 points. That's 2 baskets, and we're right there, right where we want to be. I don't know that you could ask for. It was a much better pace for North Daviess in the second quarter. Can't be too disappointed with what's taking place out there. You have a chance in this ballgame.
Yeah, if you would have asked North Daviess a week ago, if you don't have the Wilson twins and you're going up and playing against Barr Reeve, what do you expect? And if you look at their coaching staff and say, well, you're down 5 going into halftime, I'd say they'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
And, like we talked about a lot of times, hats off to these kids that, that didn't expect to be in this situation 48 hours ago, but they are. The Devin Collinses, the Marcus Brittons, the Alex Steffi, I'm sure the Bryce Collins, I'm sure Alex thought, I'm going to go in there and bang with Hope a little bit, but probably not for 32 minutes.
Yeah.
And, he's doing a great job. And I think Hope's got 11, but, he can have 11 against anybody. And, Steffi's doing a good job of banging down low and making him earn everything.
Yeah, you look at the sectional, you got Lagodi, obviously, with big man Silas Bauer. You've got Barr Reeve with Kurt Hope. And you got Alex Steffi for North Daviess, and a guy that you figured was going to get in and bang around a little bit, two or three possessions a half, and play that role of a little bit of a bully, so to speak, in the post and make him feel his presence. But you're exactly right. 32 minutes of Alex Steffi was not probably in the game plan, just 3 days ago, and here we are, and he's doing a fantastic job. Hope's the best big man we're going to see all year. He's able to step outside and knock down a three. He's not done that yet, but he's definitely capable. He's got great touch around the basket. Then you've got two other guys that are going to probably be 1,000-point scorers or close to it with Bryson Graver and Hagen Knepp to contend with, and just a load of a task for North Daviess. And kudos to Coach Brent Dalrymple and his kids for what they've been able to do here to stay in this ball game. As we are at halftime, 31-26. Coach, I'd like to take a quick break maybe and come back right before the start.
Yep,
Okay,
sounds
we'll
good
take
to
a
me.
quick break. We'll come back with about a minute left here in halftime and give you the second half action. 31-26. Barr Reeve leads here. Buggy Bowl 2021. Minute left here in halftime as we have a 31-26 Barr Reeve advantage at the half. Coach, keys to victory, you talked about them, the Oden-Locker keys. We had, it's like get to shooters, rebound, and control tempo. Feel like we've done a pretty nice job of, first quarter we struggled a little on the glass, but we kind of got that under control. Don't feel like they've hit, I don't think they've hit a three yet.
No, they have not.
And then as far as tempo goes, we got that under control as well in the second quarter. Talk about the keys to victory.
Yeah, we've done a really good job of getting their shooters, and you notice we're really not doubling Hope, and people may be asking why are we not doing that? Well, if you double him, he's such a good passer, he's going to kick out, and it's going to get their shooters going. So, like I talked about a little bit before, Kurt Hope is what he is. He's a really good basketball player. He's going to put points on the board, and we can't let other people get going. If they go and not hit a three this whole game, that'll be a plus for North Daviess. Rebounding, it was pretty even the second quarter. Barr Reeve won the first, and controlling the tempo, Barr Reeve only scored 12 points the second quarter, and that's more of what we need here at North Daviess.
We are back underway here as North Daviess is going to start with the four seniors, Collins, Loniger, Wolford, and Steffi, joined by sophomore point guard Jalen Mullen. And then it looks like Barr Reeves goes with their original five as well with the Graber brothers. You got Devin Graber, the senior, number 30, Kurt Hope in the middle, and then also Hagen Knepp, the junior wing athlete for Barr Reeve as North Daviess starts with possession. And Barr Reeve in the man-to-man defense as Mullen works on Bryson Graber. Wolford finds an angle, goes in for two, blocked out of there by Hagen Knepp out of bounds. It's going to stay with North Daviess. So Ike had a step right there, Coach. We could see the angle perfectly from here. He had a step in a lane, and that's just an advantage, made up quickly by Knepp with his length and athleticism.
Yeah, Hagen does a really good job of timing his jumps and timing his block shots, and he's done that for a long time, and he does a really good job.
We're going to have a push trying to get through a screen on Devin Graber. So first foul called in the second half. It's going to go on Barr Reeve. Second foul on Devin Graber, out of bounds North Daviess, as this possession is now taken right at a minute. 7 minutes to go here, third quarter. Scoreboard still reads 31-26 as North Daviess looks to trim this lead down to a single possession. Loniger gets in the paint, jump stops, finds Jalen Mullen. He's going to fire a three, ring it up right in Bryson Graber's distance right there. So we're going to get a 2-point ball game here, 31-29. So big time shot for Jay right there, Coach. Didn't think he had the space, but in fact he did, and he knocked it down.
Yeah, he done a good job there. That was a quick step back, and it's something we talked about before. He's worked hard on his shot this summer and getting in the gym and working on things, and it's paying off a lot this year.
Cougars in the man-to-man doing a really nice job packing it in, closing out the shooters as Al goes up battling with Hope, loses control. Thompson wants a foul. He's running up the sideline with the official, pleading his case to no avail. Kick out to Darren. He's going to go by Graber, stop and turn around and reset here for North Daviess. 2-point ball game, 2 minutes gone by here, third quarter. Perfect start for North Daviess. Couldn't ask for much better as you cut the lead to 2, and you have the basketball with 3 minutes almost off the clock. So good start, North Daviess. And we're going to run the offense here through Jalen. Bounce pass to Bryce. Cougars being very patient. Collins out to Steffi in the corner. Hope picking up the pressure. Steffi looking for somebody. We're going to get a traveling violation called on Alex Steffi. Tough place for Al to have it there, Coach. Bryce kicked it to him in the corner, and then Hope recognized the situation and went out and pressured him. Tough assignment there for Alex Steffi.
Yeah, that was a good heads-up play by Hope right there to step out. No, Steffi may not be as comfortable handling the ball as other people on North Daviess, and he made a decision and got the turnover.
Alex is doing a pretty nice job of bodying up Kurt Hope, and certainly one of the stronger individuals that Hope is going to go up against this season. Al isn't certainly the tallest individual, but he's got a lot of body, upper body strength and strength in his legs from playing football and he gets called for his third foul, which could play a factor here. He's certainly doing a great job down there, so we've got to keep him from getting his fourth as Hof knocks down both free throws to extend the lead back to 4, 33-29. 5:10 to play here, third quarter action, as Barr Reeve goes back to the 1-3-1 defense to try to get things going for them. As we talked about it at halftime, we feel like their energy is just a little bit lower than what we're accustomed to seeing from Barr Reeve teams. And a steal here by Caden Graber. And back comes Barr Reeve. Devin Graber finds Bryson Graber. And Barr Reeve's going to run one of their traditional sets here. It's like a little pick and pop or lob. Step out to Hagen Knepp. He's going to take a long 2. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Coach, we saw him shoot probably 25 threes pregame, just moving one step at a time around the three-point line, and I bet he only missed 2 of those 25.
Yeah, he can shoot it pretty well, especially when he's set. If he's set and he's got time, he's probably going to hit it.
Knepp down low to Collins. He's going to go opposite side to Loniger, and picked off by Graber. So Barr Reeve doing a better job thus far of rotating to the next spot and taking away what would be that opening that North Daviess was finding in the first half. So turnover North Daviess as they isolate Hof on the right block. He's going to spin middle, go up for 2 with the right hand and score. That's a really tough assignment for Alex Steffi, one-on-one. But again, you talked about the reasoning for that being that if you go double, you're doubling off of a knockdown shooter most likely, and then you're in scramble mode. And that's really tough for kids, and we're learning. We're figuring out what we want to do, right? Because this is that first matchup of what probably will be 2 matchups. So, we're going to go back to the drawing board here potentially in this timeout and see what the next step is. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, I think we're talking about our zone offense right here. When they came out in man and we did exactly what I figured we would do, we'd be very deliberate, and, we took a lot of time off the clock, and, Coach Thompson wanted to speed us back up. And when we slowed down, speed us back up, we haven't sped up quite like we have, in the first half. And Coach Dalrymple was probably just thinking, stay fundamental, do things the right way. Those same things that were there in the first half are going to be there. You may just have to, it may just be there a step quicker. Or you may have to find another open area 2 feet below where you were open in the first half.
Absolutely. The offense is, you can't recreate the wheel in basketball. There's an offense for every defense, and the opportunities will be there if you just handle it and, don't freak out, as we say, against pressure, and those things will be there for North Daviess as it is our basketball. 3:42 to play as Ike has the ball in the corner. Wolford handling against Bryson Graber. Over to Loniger. Hands off to Jalen, top of the key, who is drawn the assignment of Hagen Knepp. Marcus Britton checks back into the game, the junior shooting guard, knocked down 2 big threes for North Daviess in the first half. So maybe some offense here for North Daviess checking into the game as we are down by 8 points now. One of the biggest leads of the night for Barr Reeve. As Jalen handles the ball for North Daviess off to Wolford. Gets into the paint. Jalen's going to take a tough shot, this time short. Rebound picked up by Hof underneath the basket as he is battling Wolford and Steffi for that rebound, and back comes Barr Reeve. So Barr Reeve gets another stop. 8-point lead for the Vikings. It's like going to be a double ball screen high here for senior point guard Bryson Graber, and then a roll for Hof, and top of the key Hagen Knepp. That's a lot of tough assignments right there. As Hof picks up the offensive board, he's going to get fouled on the reach-in, I believe, by Darren Loniger. And Darren disagrees with the call. It's going to be called on the reach-in on the spin move from Hof. That's going to be Darren's 3rd foul, I believe. Checking into the game here is Devin Collins. Coach, when you've got Bryson coming off of the double ball screen, Hof rolling to the basket, and Hagen stepping out, that's a lot of tough assignments right there for anybody, let alone an undermanned North Daviess team.
Yeah, it is. And, North Daviess done a pretty good job of guarding it. You just got to talk on those screens to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Like we went to a little zone defense here, a little 2-3 action for North Daviess. Underneath to the basket here is Hagen Knepp. He's going to take an off-balance 2, picked up by Hof, loses control, and Britton gathers for North Daviess. 2:15 to go here, third quarter. 37-29. North Daviess trails Barr Reeve as Jalen gets into the paint, loses control. Knepp picks it up, goes coast to coast, gets stripped by Darren. It's going to get off of Hagen's leg, out of bounds, That is the right call by the official, and it's going to go back to North Daviess. Great hands there from Darren Loniger.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play
A lot
right
of
there
times,
from
when you
Darren.
see that movement, the officials assume the call, and that official did a great job of not calling the assumption there and letting it play out.
Yeah, he did. And, he knows these are two good teams out here playing basketball, and he probably assumed that we probably made the right play.
Marcus Britton gets free in the corner for three. He's going to get fouled on the arm. Great call from the top official. You could see it from here. He got his hand definitely swiped at the top of his jump shot. He's going to go to the free throw line here for 3 free throws. The cardinal rule of playing defense on the perimeter is not fouling a jump shooter, contesting without fouling. And looks like Hof came in on the side and fouled Marcus Britton, who misses the free throw. He's going to get 2 more. You got to knock both of these down, get it back to a 2-possession game for North Daviess. Thank you again to our sponsors, ABK Flooring, JJ's Concrete, Odin Locker, and also Bobcat of Daviess County, as Marcus misses the second free throw. And he gets a third one here in the air. This one no good as well. So Marcus misses all 3 free throws. Again, free throws are going to win you ball games, as my wife likes to say each and every night we watch IU play, just because of the struggles that they've had from the line, and it holds true at every level.
Yeah, and I would have lost a lot of money if I would have bet Marcus to miss all 3 of those.
We're going to get an offensive foul here, called on Kurt Hof, trying to clear space as Darren Loniger was fronting the post, and Kurt tried to clear some space, and could have been somewhat of an acting job by Darren, somewhat of a push from Kurt, 50-50, so to speak, and the call goes North Daviess' way. Turnover, Barr Reeve on the offensive foul as Collins gets underneath the basket, goes up on Hof, and a tough matchup for him. Throws it over the rim, picked up by Barr Reeve. 1:05 to play here, third quarter, 8-point lead for Barr Reeve. As I still don't think they've hit a 3-point basket, which is the complete opposite of their game from last night and what you're accustomed to seeing from Barr Reeve, as they tend to live and die, not live and die necessarily, but live a lot by the 3-point shot. Devin Graber passes on a 3, back up top to Bryson Graber. Down to 40 seconds to play here, third quarter. Bryson gets into the paint, goes up, makes a pass off the rim out to his younger brother. And we're going to reset here. Looks like Coach Thompson wants to take the final shot of this quarter. You can tell on Bryson's face he's kind of upset with himself a little bit on how this quarter's going. And North Daviess is making it very hard on these Vikings, the number 1 team in the state. They're an undermanned team. They're making it extremely hard on everything they do and every cut and every post and every screen. Kudos to North Daviess and what they're doing.
Yeah, North Daviess is doing a good job of making it tough on Barr Reeve. Get on the floor.
Strip by Devin. He's going to get on the floor. It's going to go out of bounds to North Daviess. So great hustle by Devin Collins. He's going to create the turnover. It's going to go back to North Daviess. 1.3 on the clock here. Got to catch, maybe get 1 dribble and shoot. Darren from 3-quarter court is going to be way off to the left as he just passes it to the official. And that's the end of the third quarter. 37-29. Barr Reeve extends their halftime lead by 3 to now lead by 8 on the JJ's Concrete scoreboard. Coach, we had a chance there with Marcus at the line. He had 3 free throws. Certainly not the only thing that we can fix on either end, but that was definitely something that stood out.
Yeah.
The hustle from Devin Collins on this end, you're continuing to battle, and you can just kind of see on Barr Reeve's facial expressions and the way Kurt is battling in the post. We're making it hard on them. We're making them earn everything they get, which is a good thing for North Daviess. Talk about what it's going to take here in this fourth quarter to try to find a way to get back in this game.
It's going to take a lot of what North Daviess is doing. We just need some shots to fall. And, I don't know how good of the looks we're getting because, Barr Reeve is so athletic defensively, and, we're missing 2 of our big offensive weapons in the Wilson twins. But, the thing with Devin is, he learned a lot in that last 2 minutes. I think with the minute 10 left, he kind of drove on hope there, and, it was off of 1 pass. And if, maybe if you pass it 5 or 6, 7, 8 times, it's a good take. But then he came right down here and dove on the floor and got after it and won North Daviess a possession right back. So like we talked about, these kids that may not have gotten this game normally, But with the Wilsons being gone, they're now playing huge roles, are learning a lot about the game of basketball, and it's only going to help them in the future.
Yeah, you mentioned that drive by Devin. Hope also made a pretty nice defensive play there.
Yeah.
He's smart enough to know that he doesn't have to jump and try to block the shot. He just needs to go straight up. So Devin will learn from that take and understand when and when not to do that. More so who to do it against and who not to, as Hope was the 6'9". When he puts his hands up, he's 7'2". Defender there. As Barr Reeve starts with the basketball here, fourth quarter action. Looks like North Daviess comes out in a 2-3 zone here to start the quarter, as, again, controlling some tempo. Bryson Graber up top. Penetrates to the right, kick out to Devin Graber. He's going to fire a three. No good. Short. It's going to go up on top of the backboard. Out of bounds to North Daviess. So they get the stop they needed to begin the quarter. I think you're going to live with that shot right there from Devin Graber, a contested three, 2 steps behind the line, probably from their third or fourth best set shooter. So kudos to North Daviess for getting the stop. Now we got to find a way to get a bucket. This is a one possession as far as the mindset. Every possession matters. One possession at a time, and I got to find a way to get it to 6 right here, maybe 5, and then do it again. Stop and score again. It's just a mind frame that these kids are going to learn from and get better as they continue to progress towards sectional play.
Yeah, you're right, Coach. And, right here on this possession, I would really like to see Jalen Mullen get in the lane and make something happen, He didn't have to score it. I just want to see him get in the lane and either make a pass, or we've done such a good job of diving, whenever people did get in the lane.
As Marcus Britton fires for 3, this time short. Rebound by Wolford. He's going to go up for 2. No good. Rebound by Britton. No good. This time picked up by Hof. As coach, we had 3 ball handlers up top, Wolford and Britton in the corners, an offense that we're familiar with from North Daviess. Haven't seen Marcus in there a whole lot with it, as Hof underneath goes up for 2 with the right hand this time and scores. 10-point advantage for Barr Reeve. Hof is so good at finishing around the rim with both hands and awkward angles. Definitely one of the better finishers, with either hand and awkward angles like that I've seen.
Yeah, he does do a good job, and he's done a lot of those where he starts on one, he just kind of flips it over his head, and he puts good English on the ball, what they want to call it, and puts it in there.
Jalen with some nice ball handling to get an advantage, but when he gets inside, he gets it blocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with North Daviess out of bounds underneath. Mullen triggers it into Collins, so we have Collins, Mullen, Wolford, Loniger, and Britton. So looks like 2 juniors, 2 seniors, and a sophomore for North Daviess. Mullen handles on Bryson Graber, hands off to Darren Loniger. Drives in, kicks out to Marcus Britton, who's going to drive in on Hof, goes up for 2 and scores. So a nice move there from Marcus Britton, who, if he's able to do that, that is added bonus offense against the D1 recruit Kurt Hof. So nice, confident move there from Marcus Britton.
Yeah, Marcus hit 2 threes earlier, and Hof is running at him and, trying to close out and take that away. Marcus done a good job of taking what the defense gives him and going to the basket.
Looks like a foul here called on Ike Wolford, who is battling with Hof in the post, and Ike kind of leaned on him a little bit and got called for the foul, which it was, and everybody seemed to like that call on one side here, as Hof is battling, and, as anyone would know, that's a tough matchup for anyone, as Bryson Graber comes in out of the inbounds play, back down to Hof, up top to Graber. He's going to go in for 2. Going to get a foul first. Looks like it's going to be called on Marcus Britton, his first, team's 4th. So neither team in foul trouble here. 14 fouls for North Daviess, just 3 for Barr Reeve as they get it into Caden Graber in the corner. They've done a nice job on Caden Graber. Guy that hit 5 for 5, I believe, against Fort Wayne Blackhawk in the Hall of Fame Classic. Kind of his coming out party, so to speak. We've been able to find him. Got the lob play here. It's going to be thrown out of bounds. Ooh, we got a tip, looks like. Looks like it was tipped. And it's going to stay with Barr Reeve. The patented lob play. Used to be ran for Keegan O'Neal. Now insert another 6'9" guy and run it for Kurt Hope. Going to get it into Devin Graber. Going to dribble up top and reset to Hagan Knepp. Down to 4:35 to play, 39-31. Barr Reeve As Caden Graber back up top to Bryson Graber. He's going to slow things down here, as this is the exact type of ball game that North Daviess was expecting and wanting to compete tonight. As North Daviess stays in the 2-3 zone, kind of a matchup 2-3 zone, and doing a really nice job doing so. Coach Dalrymple pleading to his guys to keep going. Rebound here off of the air ball from Hagen net by Devin Collins. So nice defensive possession, Coach. We've got to find a way to get a bucket right here.
Yeah, and I got to give hats off to Ike down there battling with Hope. He's doing a great job. He's using his body, moving his feet really well, and he's being physical with him. And that's exactly what you got to do with a kid like that. You got to be physical. You got to push him off. You can't just let him sit on the block and do whatever he wants to, or he's really, really good. So hats off to our little guys out there for battling.
Yeah, and I like the help side too. You got Ike in the middle battling, and then you got Devin on the weak side, taking away the lob pass, and then you close out to the skip on the weak side, and just really good execution from North Daviess on this end. Now we got to find a way to get through the stingy Barr Reeve defense on the other end. Down to 3:23 to play, 39-31. North Daviess leads Buggy Bowl here, 2021 from the Cougar Den. As we're going to get a reach-in foul called on Caden Graber, number 10, as Devin tried to go to the basket. Devin Collins out of bounds, North Daviess. 3:15 to play. Mullen triggers it in to Loniger. Then hands off to Mullen. Another fake handoff. Loniger spins, kicks out to Collins, who goes to his left hand. I feel like Devin can use both hands very well. Sometimes I don't know if he's left-handed or right-handed.
No, neither do I.
Mullen gets a head of steam going to the bucket. Kicks out to Collins. North Daviess being very patient. Still down by 8, though. Need to think about, down under 3 minutes now. Need to think about what we're going to be doing here. Trying to find a way to get back in this game. Still a 3-possession game. Loniger goes to his left, goes up for 2. No good. So a really nice possession. Almost ended in a Loniger layup or running 6-foot jumper, and it just rimmed out for Darren. And timeout, Barr Reeve. We got a full timeout here, Barr Reeve. I want to thank our sponsors again while we have time. ABK Flooring post-game show coming up. 2:35 to play here, so we'll have an ABK Flooring post-game show for you shortly. We have the JJ's Concrete scoreboard given to you every night on your screen. Sometimes if it's not, we'll be sure to tell you the score as much as we can. Also, we have the Odin Locker, keys to victory each and every night. And then finally, the Bobcat of Daviess County player of the game, which we'll bring to you at the conclusion during our ABK Flooring postgame show. Coach, 39-31, 2:35 to play. Tempo from the first quarter certainly is a thing of the past, as that has gone away quickly. It has gotten into the tempo of North Daviess' liking. Right now, we're just having a hard time scoring the basketball and maybe feeling that presence or lack of presence of those Wilson boys just a little bit more tonight, especially on the offensive side.
Yeah, North Daviess has had their opportunities. I mean, all the way from the Marcus getting 3 free throws. We've had a couple really good looks at the basket that they've done everything but go in. This could easily be a 2-point ball game, but, this is the biggest possession of the game so far. If Barr Reeve scores, they're going to be up by double figures. If North Daviess can get a stop, they have a chance to cut it to a 2-possession game with, hopefully a little over a minute 30 or 2 minutes left. So we really need to get a stop right here.
2:30 to go here. I have a feeling Barr Reeve's not going to be in any kind of hurry, trying to take some clock off of the scoreboard, run some quality offense, and get to the free throw line or shoot layups, similar to what North Daviess would be doing in the same spot as Bryson Graber guards. Handles against Ike Wolford, gets into the lane, goes up for 2, no good. Rebound by Hof, who does a good job of crashing. Back up top to Devin Graber. So big rebound there from Hof, as Bryson took somewhat of an ill-advised contested layup. And fortunately for them, picked up by Kurt Hof. And we're going to get a foul called on a half-court trapping play here. Looks like on Marcus Britton. So Cougars go into the half-court trap. Feel like you have to do that in this situation. You're down under 2 minutes. You got to find a way to make something happen. You got fouls to give. You can be aggressive.
Yeah, and it's our possession. So, I think, we need to try to get in and get a jump ball. If they call a foul, who cares? I mean, it'll only be our 6th. Make them take it out. And here before too long, we're going to want those fouls on our side.
39-31, 1:41 to play. Hope goes up for 2. Nothing doing. Back comes North Daviess. We're going to get it's like Collins, Wolford, Loniger, Mullen, and Britton. 125, 8-point ball game. Mullen gets a ball screen from Marcus, picks up his dribble, hands off to Wolford. Cougars got to think about going quickly here. Wolford gets into the lane, jump stops, finds Collins in the corner. Over to Mullen. Behind the back dribble, gets a ball screen from Britton. Gets into the lane, kick out to Wolford for a 3. Ring it up. Cuts it to 5. 39-34. 1 minute to play here from the Cougar Den. We get a little full court pressure here and a reach-in foul called on Wolford. We have 2 timeouts remaining. 54 seconds to go. Possession arrow in favor of North Daviess. Coach, I thought on that last possession down here, Coach Thompson really wanted a foul called on Hope as he went to the basket. The officials are clearly letting the players decide the outcome of this game. Only calling the obvious things and letting everything else pretty much go. A lot of times that's what you see in big games like this and sectional type games. The players decide it, and I'm okay with that, as long as it's consistent. Touch on that.
Yeah, I am too. If I was in Barr Reeve and if I was a Barr Reeve fan, I would have wanted to foul there too.
Sure.
But, the referees have done a pretty good job of letting the kids play and decide what's going on. They're letting them be physical down low, which, that's a good thing. And, as long as they don't go on the other end and call a ticky-tack foul, then, everybody's kind of got to be happy because they're being consistent. They've pretty much stayed out of this game a lot, and they're letting the kids decide it. So, hats off to these officials. I'm sure this isn't a game. North Daviess, Lagodi, Barr Reeve, Lagodi, North Daviess, Barr Reeve. I'm sure they're not knocking down the door to referee these games.
Yeah, these are games that are usually tight and highly contested and highly criticized even from the fans that pay the admission to come into the building. And it's a thankless job a lot of times for these officials. They're doing the best they can. And I feel like these guys are doing a nice job of kind of staying out of this contest and letting these guys that have played a lot of basketball against each other, not just in the IHSAA contest, but also at the Graber Dome, or wherever they play games at. I'm sure they got another game scheduled tomorrow around 2:30 after church and Sunday lunch as Graber gets it into Hope. He's going to go underneath and missed the layup. So perfect situation for North Daviess. Down by 5, 45 seconds to play as Mullen crosses over behind the back dribble. Nothing doing in the lane. Kick out to Britton. Hands off to Wolford. Mullen up top of the key. Crossovers behind the back, goes up for 2. No good. Rebound to Ike, puts it up and scores. Timeout, North Daviess. 1 possession game. North Daviess continues to battle until the final whistle is blew, just like we knew they would. 39-36, 26.1. As we had a drive there from Jalen Mullen, put up a tough running layup, no good. But again, Ike doing Ike Wolford things.
Yep.
That is the slogan of the season thus far for Ike, and lays it in for the offensive putback.
Yeah, and the missed layup down there by Hope, that probably plays a part of how physical we've been with him. I'm sure he was expected to get hammered right there, and rightfully so. He kind of went up, just kind of short-armed it a little bit and never really got it above the rim, but I don't want to give him another opportunity like that because I'm sure he might just pull back and hammer home the next one he gets.
Yeah, and that was about the perfect situation for North Daviess, as that's almost even better than a steal because hardly any time ran off the clock. Graber ran it up the floor, couple dribbles, bounce pass, missed layup, took about 2.5 seconds, and North Daviess came back with the basketball. So great possession on both ends. Cut it to a 1-possession game here, and the next foul will send Barr Reeve to the free throw line. 39-36, and another just classic Buggy Bowl battle here.
Yep. From
the Cougar Den. Even when you expected the opposite, here we are. 39-36. You can just throw records, throw John Harrell's predictions, throw whatever it is you got out the window for these type of matchups. Devin Graber going to go to the free throw line here as Jalen Mullen with the reach-in foul.
One of the biggest things we've done is not allowed them to hit a 3 yet.
Yeah.
Devin Graber has not He has hit one bucket, and that makes these free throws a little bit different. If he's hit two or three threes, I promise these are going in. They may go in anyways, but, it's just a little bit different stepping up here when you haven't had the opportunities that you're used to.
Devin Graber spins the basketball. A couple of big free throws here, 1 and 1. This one's going to be off the rim, no good. Rebound to Loniger, one possession game down to 20 seconds. Coach Dalrymple has no timeouts remaining. Going to get into the lane. They're going to get a foul on the floor. 17.3 to play here from North Daviess High School. Barr Reeve still has one more foul to give. So kind of a smart play there by them to foul on the floor. Make them take it out. See if you can run a set here, potentially to score. If not, get it out and run your best stuff to cut this lead down to 1, maybe tie. Tipped out of bounds, same with North Daviess.
First thing I do is get the ball in.
Yep, got to get it in here. Got to get it in. Barr Reeve continues to be long and take things away here. Got to get it in bounds.
North Daviess does not have any timeouts left. They're probably not used to that.
Throwing it deep to Marcus.
Pick it up. Good, Marcus.
Going to get it into Mullen. And here we go, down to 11. No timeouts remaining. Jalen hands off to Marcus. Going to get a foul on the floor. Good foul from Bryson Graber. Another foul to give. Coach, this is the situation in which we've talked about many times. Up 3.
Yep.
Do you send a team to the line here?
I think that's
or do you shoot the 3, let him shoot the 3 and take your chances?
Yeah, I think that's what Bryson's asking. He's looking at Coach Thompson, and he's saying we're up 3. We can't give them a 3 here. And, if I'm a coach, I'm letting it play out. I'm going to make them hit a really tough shot, and they fouled him.
They did.
It's a smart play.
I'm kind of surprised Coach Thompson didn't burn a timeout there.
Yeah, just to talk about
it with your team. Ask your staff. Ask Bryson Graber, your senior leader, maybe what the best situation is. We're going to send Ike Wolford to the line here. I think the staff wanted him to call a timeout, and he didn't, but it looks like it's going to work out maybe the way they wanted it as Ike makes the first. 39-37.
So do you miss on purpose?
Now the next question, if you're Coach Dalrymple, do you tell Ike to miss here, or do you tell him to make and then foul on the inbounds pass?
I mean, I don't. You got to hit it, I think. Yep.
Looks like he connects, makes it.
If you're down 1, you can miss on purpose, but you're just gonna have to. You're gonna have to get it back anyways here.
39-38, timeout Barr Reeve. If you'd have told me after the first quarter that this game would not yet be to the 40s, I would have lost a significant amount of dollars on that particular statement. 3.9 seconds to play. What's coming down to the last possession once again here in the Buggy Bowl after Barr Reeve had a knockdown, drag-out, one-possession game last night against Lagodi. 39-38, Coach. First of all, your North Daviess, you have no timeouts. Your Barr Reeve, you have 3 timeouts. You have the baseline here to take the ball out of bounds with after the made free throw. We've been in the situation where you may burn all 3 of these timeouts just to get it in one time.
Yeah.
And what's the message here if you're Coach Dalrymple? Do you go man-to-man, switch everything, or do you go diamond? You probably have to go man here with only 3 seconds left.
Yeah, I think you go man-to-man. You get after him. If you want to be really aggressive because you don't want to do it intentionally, but if you foul before the ball gets in bounds, that's not necessarily the worst thing either. And, if you're Barr Reeve, you got so many athletes out here, you may say throw it to the other end and touch it, because then at least makes North Daviess go the full length of the court. But, I think Barr Reeve's going to get into one of whoever they think their best free throw shooter is and make North Daviess foul.
Yeah, Coach Dalrymple might have spent time there in that timeout drawing up what they want to run offensively coming back once the free throws are shot. If it's taken out of bounds, what do they want to run? If it's off of a rebound, because Barr Reeve's only going to still be in the 1-and-1. So a lot of things to think about here when you have no timeouts as they get it into Caden Graber, and we're going to get a foul called. Only 0.7 seconds ran off the clock here, so good situation here. You got a junior heading to the free throw stripe that hadn't shot a free throw tonight, and I don't know that he's scored tonight.
Yeah, well, once again,
Caden Graber.
Taking away the 3-point shot and making Hope hit 7 bunnies down low is better than letting them shoot the 3 because these 2 guys we sent to the line probably would have hit 2 or 3 threes by now. They're going up there with loads of confidence.
And here we go, 1-and-1. Caden Graber. Free throw, no good. Rebound by Collins. Outlet to Wolford. He's going to let it fly from half court. Ooh, no good.
Man.
As they got a pretty good look from half court. Ball in the air with a chance to win the ball game. Can't ask for much more than that if you're Coach Dalrymple. As Barr Reeve is going to flat escape with the victory here, 39-38. If there would have been another 2 minutes on the clock, North Daviess probably would have found a way to win this game. Unfortunately, there wasn't. Lose by 1, 39-38. Coach, give me your thoughts.
I mean, North Daviess cannot be you can be happier because you want to win this game. But, I mean, to come in without the two Wilson twins and, to have a chance to win it at the end, even if it is a half-court heave, but, you're exactly right. If you go back and watch that film, Marcus Britton was going to be open in the corner. They just needed about 2 more seconds to throw it to him. And, hats off to North Daviess. I mean, making Hope score down low. And, he got 17, but that's okay because nobody else scored. I mean, the big three did, but none of their role players really got involved in the game. And, that showed down the free throw line down the stretch. They, if they would have hit 2 or 3 threes, those free throws go in. That's all there is to it. But as a North Daviess fan, and if you're watching, and as Coach Dalrymple has to be, this is really, really good to lose by 1 without 2 of your starters in, because now you have a chance come March, and that's all you can ask for. And this sectional is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, Lagodi lost to him by 3 last night. North Daviess lost to him by 1 tonight, and it should be a lot of fun come March.
This is the ABK Flooring post-game show. Coach, you hit it on the head. 2 starters not here, but let's not dwell on that so much, and let's compliment who was here. Let's compliment the Alex Steffies and the Bryce Collinses and the Devin Collinses and what they were able to accomplish. The Marcus Brittons on the floor, man. I mean, what they were able to do in their absence is just a clear product and a clear sign of what this program is right now. They fall to 10-2 on the season. 39-38, Barr Reeve does win the Buggy Bowl. They just presented the Buggy Bowl trophy to the Vikings as Hagen Knepp collected that and walked off the floor with the trophy. But you're right. First week of March, right back on this floor. You're going to have 3 top 5 teams in the state in here. The draw will be sometime middle of February. We'll see what that looks like. But you can't ask for much more if you're Coach Dow and staff, and you now know you have a chance. You weren't sure quite yet coming into tonight, but now you know. And you got to be looking forward to the rest of this season to prepare, to find a way to, get one more bucket, get to 40. That clearly seems to be the recipe, just as it has been since 2005, right? I mean, it's not much has changed. I mean, would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. Whenever we prepared for Barr Reeve, it was we wanted the same type of game. And, this may have been the exact score we beat them by in sectional, only flipped. Of course, we had 39, they had 38. It's just North Daviess basketball, and we've been playing that recently, and we're getting back to where we need to be of, controlling tempo, taking great shots, and just doing things the right way. And, hats off to Coach Dalrymple and the boys for buying into that, because, it's hard to buy into sometimes that, you're not going to take your first open 3, you're going to take your third open 3.
Yeah.
And a lot of these shooters, and like you said, early on when you started there, we need to talk about the kids that played. And, I mean, they're an unbelievable effort by them, all the way down. Jay, of course, Bryce, Marcus, Darren, Devin, Ike, Steffi, those guys just flat got after it. Steffi didn't score a point, but you're not this close without him.
No, and, you're not.
The stuff they did to guard Hoth down low, and just, it's pretty easy to say, yeah, well, he's D1 going to Bellarmine. He's going to dominate me, but, we didn't do that. We battled. We flat got after it, and hats off to the kids that played. And, I'm excited for what we did right here. And, I think we showed we deserved to be where we're at, and even the 1A ranking, and so did Lagodi, and so did Barr Reeve. I mean, we got 3 of the top 5 teams in the state right here, and rightfully so. It's a lot of fun. It's a chess match between coaches, as you've seen all night, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of. And I'm glad I could be here and broadcast this with you. And it's a blast.
It really is. And you said 3 top 5 teams. I'll even go one step further, and this is the 1, 2, and 3 top teams in the state, and they're going to all be in this gym first week of March, pending the draw. Last year, all 3 teams were in the same side of the bracket, so
Yep.
we'll see how that shakes out. But we have the top 3 teams in the state of Indiana right here within
Yep.
20 miles of each other in Class A basketball, and
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yep. And this may be a conversation for a different day, but I'm ready to seed sectionals at any time. And
Yes, sir.
If these 3 end up in the same side again, that the best 2 teams need to be playing on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And hopefully they don't end up. Hopefully the draw will end up exactly what it needs to be. And of course 2 are going to be on the same side.
Yeah.
But hopefully that other one get to come in from the other side, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully by then we can have a packed house.
Yep.
Because these kids deserve that. And man, oh man, what a game! What a game! What a job by these kids to come in here. I mean, like we said, you tell Marcus, Devin, Alex, and Bryce that they got a chance to play 24 to 32 minutes, they would have laughed 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And my goodness, man, they came out here and played. They didn't back down from anybody, and dude, it was great to see, and it's awesome to see. And if you're a North Daviess fan, you got to be excited about what's going on here, and it's great and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's top to bottom. It's seniors down to the 5th and 6th grade level.
Yep.
It's not just what these kids are doing. It's across the board, and they're great. They're great kids. As I see Marcus Britton coming out onto the floor here, getting embraced by his family. I mean, just a great performance, and you'd hate to have moral victories, in a losing effort. But you see what these kids are capable of, and how bought in they are to the program, and what they're doing each and every single day and night on game nights. And pretty cool stuff as Barr Reeve does win the Buggy Bowl 39-38 here at North Daviess High School. The sectional will be here first week of March, and we will hopefully have that for you. We'll see what all that brings when the time comes. But great effort from both teams tonight, as it was a flat battle, just as we thought it would be once again here in this Buggy Bowl series. Ike Wolford had a look from half court right around the tee in for home of the Cougars, and he just was off to the right, ball in the air to win the game. With a couple more seconds, he gets a couple feet further, maybe one more pass. That would have been the first win in a decade against Barr Reeve. JV picked up a big win tonight, 29-22 for their first win over Barr Reeve since 2011 as well. So all in all, a big time night here from North Daviess. North Daviess does fall to 10-2 overall in the season, 3-0 in conference play. We are not sure exactly what the schedule looks like moving forward, as the COVID regulations and protocols continue to change things up. So we'll try to address that for you maybe this week on a coach's show. We'll talk to Coach Downapple and figure out what the next game is going to look like as far as who we play and where at. But again, just tip of the cap to these kids from North Daviess who came out tonight and really battled their tails off and found a way to give themselves a chance to win the ball game tonight. It just can't say enough about the effort and the weekend they put together.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
from last night all the way to tonight, they should be very, very proud.
Yeah, and you can talk about Barr Reeve's game last night about playing Lagodi in a hard-fought battle, but man, you can't forget about the trip North Daviess made last night.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an hour to Shakamak, it's an hour home, it's getting up early for a shoot around this morning. I'm sure, that's a grind too, and to be able to do what you did at Shakamak, come away with a big win there, and then turn around and come back here and get refocused for a really good Barr Reeve team, and only lose by 1 point was. Like we said, there is no moral victories, but it's a big win, or a big game and a big mindset change maybe here at North Daviess, and it's these kids' mindset all the way back from junior high. I mean, John Mullen, we got to give him a shout out for his coaching ability that he does in the junior high level, and we heard him talking to the junior high a little bit when they had practice day after our game, and the mindset's got to change here, and we're getting back to that. I mean, not to beat Barr Reeve within a decade is, that's a pretty crazy thing to think about, because, it's a rivalry game, but when you don't win in 10 years, it kind of takes the rivalry away from it.
It does,
and,
to a point for sure.
Yeah, and, what he's done, and, those JV kids, he's coached every one of those JV kids that won tonight, and that's because they've learned how to win from him, and and done a great job. And a lot of kids that were here tonight was taught by him in JV. And, he just teaches them the right way. And losing is never an option anymore in junior high. And he does a great job of that.
Yeah, and playing the game the right way.
Yep.
And he was talking about Barr Reeve and also just the SWIAC and how it's time to get back on the winning side of the conference as well. And shout out to the junior high coaches that do a great job. Elementary coaches, Brandon Callison, Brian Wagler, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody. There's another coach I know. But
Darren Terrell.
Yeah, Darren Terrell. So shout out to all the coaches, Chris Loheider, Randy Blevins, Colton Gregory, all those guys that do a great job for our North Daviess basketball program. As Coach Dalrymple is going to step in here and give us some words after tonight's game. Coach, wow, what a weekend. You know, 48 hours ago, if you'd have told me Alex Steffi was playing 40 minutes tonight guarding Kurt Hof and being a big-time difference maker, I don't know that I would have believed you, and he wouldn't have either. And, man, just unbelievable effort from your guys. I mean, I don't even really know where to start. 39-31, and there's only 3 minutes to go, and I'm up here saying we got to think about going here a little bit. And I know you're down there saying –
I was saying that too.
Hey, I know you're down there telling Moke, let's go one possession at a time, get a stop, get a bucket, get a stop. Just talk about the game. Had a ball in the air to win the game somehow, and here we are. I mean, I don't even really know what to say. It's just unbelievable effort from your guys.
Thank you, and that's exactly what I told them. And, we're not about moral victories, but this is about as happy as we can be with the loss. And, there's just still some things we can clean up. But the biggest thing, I think there was two things that was really, really important for us to compete tonight. Number one, we had to rebound the basketball when they missed. And felt like for the most part we did that. 42, man, he gets his hands on everything.
Yeah, outside of maybe the first 4 minutes.
Yes.
And then after that you did. You cleaned it up. Yeah.
And then we also felt like there was no way to compete if we just turned the ball over. And I don't think we did that either. I know we had 4 at half. I don't know how many we ended up with, but
probably 8.
Couldn't have been that many.
Maybe.
And the great thing is, and we talked on the radio, this is such a simple game. Don't overcomplicate it. You can take care of the basketball. You can defend. You can rebound. We can repeat this game. We can repeat this in 6 weeks with some tweaks and some changes and some personnel and those types of things. But, let's give credit to those guys that stepped up tonight. You mentioned Al did a good job. But this is something we talked about all the way back in the fall where Al might get some playing time with, some of the guys in our sectional, and he certainly has worked his tail off. And for him to play that many minutes, it really shows how hard he works in practice to get in shape because he hasn't played himself into shape like our starters.
Sure.
But he just comes to practice every day. And then you got Marcus that just, he's what a shooter should be. He has no conscience. And
he lets it fly.
He let a couple fly, and he made his first 2, I think.
Well, he made a move on Division I recruit Kurt Hof into the lane and went up over him. And if he's able to do that, that's just added bonus right there.
Yeah, because and he's learned all that from the JV. And some people wonder why you play juniors on JV. Well, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he can be a different guy there, and then he comes over here and he uses those skills that he's picked up. Devin Collins came in and did a great job. Thought Bryce did a good job all night, and then once again our 3 guys with Ike and Darren and Jay, they just control it. Jay's a little frustrated. We knew this year would be frustrating for him as a sophomore. He's been the focal point, but in junior high there wasn't anything you could do about it.
Sure.
He was so good that he went around 4 guys. Where here, he gets around 1, there's another one waiting. He gets around that guy, and there's a 6'9" guy waiting.
Yeah.
So he's a little frustrated, but that's all stuff that, we talk about going back and changing and making changes and tweaking and figuring out things. That's on me as a coach to find ways to free Jay up a little bit more or at least counter what they're doing a little bit more. So we'll go back and watch film and get that done. But, overall, a very successful weekend. Our JV got it done again tonight by beating the Barr Reeve first time in a long time. And I know it's been a while since we beat Barr Reeve, and that really burns me. And we're getting closer and closer, and it's going to be our time soon.
Yes, 39-38. you look at these two rosters, especially Barr Reeve's roster, and you wouldn't have probably thought no team got to 40. I mean, just on paper. And why is it that outside of a couple of anomalies of seasons that you had, why is it that every season, doesn't matter what rosters are put together, it's first to 40? I mean, why do you think that is?
It's not all the time. We've been blown the heck out of the gym.
That's what I said.
Too.
A couple of anomalies. There were a couple seasons where it wasn't that. But why is that?
I mean, you know. I mean, it's just my philosophy is if you're fighting Mike Tyson, you don't go in and step toe to toe with him and throw haymakers in the middle of the ring. You are going to lose.
Yeah.
And case in point here, this was Mike Tyson, #1 team in the state.
Yep.
We're not going to run up and down the floor and take 2 passes and shoot it. We're going to get good looks, and we're going to make them guard us, and we're going to counter what they do. And it's, again, I talk about basketball being a simple game. It's really a really simple game. People tend to overcomplicate it, and as long as you stay fundamental and react and get yourself in spots and play as a team, that's really big. I think that's probably a huge reason too. We're so willing to share the ball, and we're so willing to help each other defensively, but defense, rebounding, take care of the basketball, will keep you in any game.
It really will, and man, we are hoping 6 weeks from now that we can have double the people we had
that'd
tonight.
be great.
Because
Can you imagine how loud this place would have been tonight?
I told Coach Nugent he was getting a standing ovation coming off of the JV floor. I mean, what they were able to do the JV game, he was getting a standing O for that game. And then not only, to top that off with your game. But in my opinion, we have the top 3 teams in Class A 20 miles apart from each other.
Yeah. And then another 20 is Bloomfield, so we might as well go 1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll go top 4. That's exactly right. Top 4 within 20 miles of each other. Pretty unbelievable, for this area in Class A basketball. Just give me your thoughts as far as 6 weeks from now. That's exactly the kind of game you want, right?
Yeah.
I mean that's what it's going to be, and I hope Lance and Logan are going to get back, and the Sticks and Bones will get back. But man, what a weekend! Unbelievable performance from your guy. Like you said, blessing in disguise. These kids got so much better this weekend. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Well, we found some things. Obviously, Marcus got to play a little bit. I mean, if he goes shoot the ball like that, Devin did a tremendous job at the top. Al's got to play a little bit more against some of these big guys because it allows us to guard differently. We don't have to trick you. We can just guard you. And when Al's in the game, so we got to find some things for Al to do offensively. Again, we got time to do all that. So. Basketball, a lot of the things that we did out here, we did them in a fundamental, playing the right way type of deal. We can repeat this. We can repeat this, and they threw 1-3-1 at us. They threw 1-2-2 at us. They trapped us. They full court pressed us. There's not really anything else. You're not going to put an extra player on the floor or anything like that.
No.
Just keep handling that stuff, and it's exactly what we did. So sometimes there's no answers, and with an 8-minute shot clock, we'll have a chance.
What do we got coming up? I know we got a schedule. It doesn't get easier. I know. Looking ahead. What are you going to do Monday? Probably take a day.
Nothing.
Take a day off, and go back to work Tuesday. What's next week look like for us?
Well, next week we have Lenten on Friday. We're working on something there with the schedule. We may have a schedule change, but we don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll get that out the first part of next week. But we'll do nothing Monday. Just take it off, and we're banged up, we're sore. Everybody in there was using that little whatever that
massager.
Yeah, that massage thing, and so Steffi, he probably can't even hardly walk, playing 2 games in 1 day or 2 games in 2 days, and playing as much as he did tonight. There was no way I thought he could play as much as he did tonight, and man, he did. And I asked him twice, Steffi, you need a break? No, I'm good. Good. And he wasn't, but he was gonna tough it out.
He wasn't telling you no.
No, he wasn't coming out. Yeah. So our kids are banged up. We need a little bit of rest, and got Lenten next Friday. So I really like my team, man, and hopefully our community is watching this. And like you said, we got the top 3 teams, top 4 teams in the state right here, and it's quite unbelievable. But it's just tremendous basketball.
Well, keep grinding, keep having fun. Don't waste any day.
Yeah,
this is a special group.
Yeah,
and you got a lot of great kids and a great staff. And don't waste a single second. I think that's the message, and everything's going to work out.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, Coach Brent Dalrymple with us here in the post-game show, ABK Flooring post-game show. We are here at North Daviess High School. We're going to wrap things up and get Coach Riggins to tell us the Bobcat of Daviess County player of the game. Coach Riggins, I'm going to put you on the spot again. Obviously, Barr Reeve came out on top, 39-38. You mentioned a couple stats for them already. Give us if you can, Bobcat of Daviess County player of the game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I might take a little bit easier way out tonight, and I'm going to go with the 4 kids that, stepped in and played huge minutes without the twins here, and that's Bryce Collins, Marcus Britton, Devin Collins, and Alex Steffi. Mm-hmm. What they did tonight and what they did this weekend, you couldn't ask anything more from them. And, just as a whole, and, they may not have gotten the scores book much, and they may not have gotten the stat sheet as a whole much, but everything they did on the defensive end and handling the ball, and, it would have been real easy to come out here for those 4 and just fold and, take a beating and moving on. But what they did was unbelievable. And there's not too many kids, especially 4 of them on the same team, that could do that.
Yeah.
So, the Wilsons were missed, but, those 4s, they stepped up and played really, really well.
They did. So hats off to Bryce Collins, Devin Collins, Alex Steffi, and Marcus Britton on being our Bobcat of Daviess County players of the game, players of the weekend, quite frankly. They really stepped up and is making Coach Dalrymple make tough decisions here moving forward as far as playing time. Good problem to have as a coach when you have options about 9 or 10 deep. So, and you got to remember we're missing 2 other guys as well, the Stickles twins that are right there in the mix too. So, good things going on here at North Daviess High School basketball. The girls are going to be back in action on Tuesday and Thursday of next week, both here at the Cougar Den. So be looking for that on Facebook Live. You ready to call another one?
Yeah, I'm ready. Is there a third one going to be out here? I mean,
I'm ready for the
triple. We're going to have to
header.
go to Simon J. and see the real Buggy Bowl that they might play tonight.
Hey, I'll take a buggy there. I don't care. I'm ready to go. And, I'll call these types of games any day. What a game from North Daviess High School. I am Coach McNabb, Coach Riggins. We will be back with you. We'll be determined on as far as boys' schedule. Coach said there's maybe some schedule changes coming up, so we'll get that information out to you. Be looking out for a coach's show as well with Coach Riggins and myself and Coach Dalrymple. We've been having a lot of fun doing those coaches shows, and we'll bring that to you this week as well. So thank you so much, Barr Reeve fans, North Daviess fans, and any basketball fan that tuned in. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Good night from North Daviess High School.